How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Day Dave, and this is the first live stream here on Carpathian Countryside. How is everybody out there doing tonight? I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Holy smokes, it has been a long time coming. I am so looking forward to this live stream, this series. Yes. We are finally here on Carpathian Countryside. I have been so looking forward to playing this map for a very, very long time. and I'm so glad that we're finally here. We're going to wait a few minutes to see who all joins us, and then we're going to get going. But I already see there are several people in the chat, so let's go ahead and go through them. Let me first go through my stream health. Is looking good. Perfect. So Jonah earlier today said, hello from 30,000 feet in the air. Jonah, hope that you made it back safe and sound. Wrench Monkey, hey, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says, hey, BDD and everyone. Let's see. Wrench, hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Ken says, good day, everyone. How's it going, Ken? Hope you are having a fantastic day. Rail Fanning Jonah is on the ground. That's awesome, bud. Glad you made it back safe. How are you doing today? Hope you are having a fantastic one. And Philippa, hey, how's it going? Hi, BDD. How are you today, Pippa? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. And we have made it through all of our chats here. Let's go ahead and... So, gonna let you all in on how my weekend has been. It has been an absolutely slammed, packed weekend. It has been absolutely nuts. I'm also going to give, before I get into that, going to give a kind of a brief overview of what to expect here on this series, as this is going to be the very first time we've done a series like this. So really looking forward to being able to come on here and kind of try something new. And I think it's going to really kind of change the kind of tone and tenor of the entire live stream series. Because it is going to be kind of independent on its own. We're going to be growing, learning, building, doing everything that we can on this map that we weren't able to do on the live streams for Alma, because of just how everything was set up. But now we have room to grow, and I'm really looking forward to it. Jody, hey, how's it going, bud? There's my buddy. There is my buddy too, Jody. How are you doing tonight? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Ken says, saw your latest video. Not bad, Dave. Awesome. Glad you enjoyed it. Let's see. So, wait about one more minute, and then we're going to get started here. Like I said, we've got a lot to do here today. We've got a brand new fresh farm, and we're going to go over kind of the background information. Gonna then go into the weekend. Like I said, we've got a lot of stuff to cover here tonight. As it being the very first live stream, figure we'll kind of lay out some kind of overall, ground rules upon myself, kind of similar like what I do with the Let's Play series, but not going to be as heavy-handed, I guess is the best way to put it. Jody says, feel a lot better now talking to you. Awesome, bud. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it indeed. Let's see. So let's go ahead and get started. It's 4 after the hour. So first off, let's go ahead and discuss what we can expect here on Carpathian Countryside. So what my plan is kind of similar to previous Let's Plays. We're just going to hang out, sit back and chat, just kind of have a good time. There's not going to be any kind of like major story building or anything like that. We're just going to be trying to make a very successful farm. Now, what do I have so far? If we take a look at my owned items, I have nothing. Absolutely nothing. I have $200,000 in the bank. That's it. I've got the main starting farm and the couple of fields that it comes with. So we have a grass field here on 5, soybeans, and 2 wheat fields. Both the wheat fields are ready to harvest, but I don't have any harvesters or anything like that. We do have the main farm here. So kind of the backstory is that we have gotten involved into a failing cooperative, and we are trying to bring it back from the brink of extinction. That's kind of the premise behind it. They sold off all their equipment. They basically got rid of everything, and they're bringing in myself in order to help save the cooperative. So let's go ahead and get started with that. So we need to first figure out how to start making money. We need to start figuring out what kind of stuff is available here on the farm, kind of learn and grow as we kind of go along and do things. like I said, I kind of got on here briefly to really kind of look over and see what was here, but there's tons and tons of stuff on this particular farm that are not available on a lot of the other farms and on other maps and stuff. There's a lot of unique characteristics to this. So my plan is to kind of first go through, see what all's here, kind of take a mental inventory and kind of figure things out from there. After that, we're going to start figuring out ways to start making money, which I think the very first and quickest thing that we can do is, obviously harvest these wheat fields. I'm thinking about one of them is going to be completely dedicated for selling off, and the other one's going to be used in some other capacity. I'm not quite sure as to what yet. I do have the access to a pig feed mixer. They call it the shredder here. So wheat is one of the inputs here to make some pig feed. Pig feed sells for a good amount of cash. So if we can get our hands on some sorghum, some sunflowers, and sugar beets, then we can really start rocking and rolling with, making some stuff. So maybe that'll be something for the future. But let's see. Before I get going onto that, let me see what the chat is saying so far. So we've got, let's see. Jody says, playing on Court Farm Country, very nice. Trying to come up with a story on my map I'm playing on. That's awesome, bud. That's awesome. You have fun with that. I hope you have an absolute ball with it. So let's see. Let's go ahead and go in here and start kind of taking a look around, see what we got available to us. So we've got this kind of big, basically like a dormitory almost. Your main bedroom, I believe, is at the end of the hall over here in room 5. Yeah, here we go. So we've got wardrobe here. We got sleep trigger here. So very, very nice. Let's see. What else we got? I think that's pretty much it in this building for the most part. Let's go ahead and head out here. We've got a bunch of repair bays right here. Repair triggers just in there. So that's awesome. Got another repair trigger in here. Let's see, we got some storage. Tons and tons of storage. I mean, this is a huge, huge map. Just an absolutely huge farm build right here. We got tons of storage. We can pack away all of our stuff in here. We've got I think this is a fertilizer. Yeah, fertilizer tank right here. So we got fertilizer storage. What else we got? Let's go around here. A little bit more storage tucked away in here. I think, yeah, these are more storage buildings here. Now over here, this is what's very interesting. This is some barn storage here. Some like bales and oh goodness, bales and pallets. Room for 2,000 items there. And I think we got another one somewhere on the farm here. We got some silos here, some bunker silos tucked away in here. We got another one just on the other side over here. Got this huge, huge manure clamp right over here. This thing right here. And it's for all these cow barns and pig barns. Because, I mean, basically this whole cooperative is a giant cow and pig barn, a pig farmery kind of thing. Like there's a lot of stuff going on here. Let's see. Pacovia, hey, how's it going? Nice, my homeland map. Yes, and this is an amazing map. Mr. Hector did a fantastic job on this map, so I'm really looking forward to trying to, have a load of fun with this. Jody says, what's the best way to come up with a story for a map? So, in my opinion, one of the best things that I like to do when it comes to stories is, one, kind of take a look at the map and see what kind of natural features the map has to it and try and play to its strengths. If you want to kind of have like a more kind of easygoing time with the map and kind of story itself. Now, if you're wanting to kind of put in some struggle and whatnot, then try and figure out some things that are antithetical to that. That are kind of the opposite of what the natural things that come with the map. So in this case, for this map here, if we take a look, like I said before, we have 2 wheat fields. They're both ready to harvest, and a soybean field. and 1 grass field. Those are what are available to us. We also have contracts. I mean, so what did I do? I did for this, I got rid of all the equipment. Right off the bat, I kept $200,000. I mean, that's pretty much it. So that's pretty much where we're going to be starting our story from, is this kind of, start from scratch. As I mentioned before, this cooperative area here that we're going to be working in. We're basically somebody who's been hired in to help save it because they sold off all their equipment. They're basically on the brink of collapse, and that's what we're here to do. So it's just one of those, you just gotta, be a little bit creative, kind of think of, things that may be inside or outside the box, however much you want to struggle for that particular series, and kind of go from there. Let's see, what else we got here? We've got some more storage. We got some consumable storage, huh? I don't know. Is that like pallets maybe? Yeah, it looks like pallets. So maybe like seeds and all that stuff. Looks like we got more in here too. Okay, yep, that's exactly what it is. Got our horse barn here. We passed by the pig barn, all that. This is our silo system over here. So we've got our, I think this is the input for the silo, is right here, and the output, I think this is input and output. I think this is the pig feed output right there. And our, let's see, where's the entrance? Oh, hi, Misty. I'm watching my dad's dogs, and one of them, the little puppy, she's about 6 months old, and she wants to climb up on top of me. So yeah, here's one of the entry points for the mixer here. We also got another one here. I think this is another output, but we're going to have to experiment and figure out how to work all this. We're not exactly sure, but that's the thing, is we're going to have plenty of time to figure that stuff out. All right, so now that we kind of went through and took a good mental inventory of what to expect on this map, let's go ahead and figure out what to do to proceed from here. So we've got, like I said, we've got the 2 fields that we need to harvest. That's, pretty high priority. But we also have a couple of contracts, as best as I could tell. I don't want to get into a parsnip contract just yet. That'll be a real nuisance to try and get that through. So let's do these here. Let's do a couple of fertilizing contracts. These will be really quick to do, and we'll be able to make a good amount of money off of them. Now, one thing I'm going to impose upon myself for this particular series is that if the product is available for purchase directly from the map, I am not going to purchase it in any other way outside of it being available on the map. So for an example, fertilizer, if we scroll down to solid fertilizer, I can buy solid fertilizer for $1,920 per 1,000 liters there at the Farm Supplies Trader, which I believe is up by the shop area here. I think that's this one. Yep, Farm Supplies Trader. So I'm going to purchase all solid fertilizer from there. Even though I have methods of getting it far cheaper here within pallets, I've got, for every 5,000 liters, I could get it for $1,000 each. I'm not going to do that in this series. I'm going to self-impose that as a kind of means. Now, if it's not available for me to purchase on the map directly and I want to buy it, then I can resort to those cheaper methods. But I'm going to first and foremost look here to find all the various sell points and whatnot. So that's what I'm planning on doing going forward. Let me catch up with the chat here. So we've got, Ken says, best part about the map, there's no Jasper here, right? Right. Well, I mean, as far as we're aware, just because Jasper was on that train in Alma doesn't mean that he might pop up somewhere else. He's pretty tricky when it comes to that kind of stuff there. Jody says, this is good to be real good. This is going to be a really good series for you. I really think it's going to be a lot of fun. I've been really looking forward to this, and I've learned my lessons. I chose very, very poorly when it came to Alma, Missouri. Now, don't get me wrong. I loved doing Alma, Missouri. I loved that series. It was a ton of fun. But the problem is that because we split apart the Let's Play series and the live streams, and now we're doing 2 distinctly separate series, I found out that maps with large fields, such as Carpathian Countryside, such as Alma, Missouri, these larger field maps are not good for Let's Play series. It is just not. There was getting towards the end there, and the reason why we cut it off at 18 episodes was because it was starting to take upwards of 9+ hours of recording to get one 1-hour episode. It was getting absolutely out of control, and I was just dedicating so much time to just be able to produce one single episode. It was absolutely nuts. So it was just one of those where by the end of it, I was just, yeah, it was just something we had to do. And then we moved on to Pelegni. Pelegni, I love that map. It is an absolutely gorgeous map, and I'm really looking forward to doing that Let's Play series. Now, the reason I chose Pelegni is because I feel that it's a good small to medium-sized equipment map, which means that I'm going to be able to produce the Let's Play series in significantly shorter times than I did on Alma, Missouri. Now, the reason why it takes so much longer on Alma than it does on Pelegni is because, one, the fields are smaller, so I'll be able to get through more stuff faster, but two, I can't just rightly say that, record half of a field being done and then just stop halfway in between the field being complete for that episode. That's just not going to work out. So one of those where I just couldn't really do anything about it. I had to basically sit there and slog through and get through each one of those series, or each one of those episodes, kind of one at a time, and taking as much time as they needed to take. So it was just one of those that at the end of the day, when it was all said and done, I was glad to do Alma, Missouri, but I'm also glad to being off of it, because I think this is also going to be a much better opportunity for us to be able to come on, have fun, and actually get stuff done, do things, get them complete, and not just do contracts. I can actually build and produce and do things here on the live streams now, which I think is going to be a ton of fun. Now, first one here is 35. Where is 35? I'm not familiar with these. Down south of here. So let's go ahead and start heading over there. Now, again, self-imposing some other rules outside of what I've already imposed. I'm not really going to be too harsh about, using lifting straps or anything along those lines. Going to be able to kind of freewheel it when it comes to that kind of aspect. I don't want to also restrict myself to first-person view or anything like that anymore, like I did in the Alma, Missouri. It was fun to do, but got old very quickly, in my opinion. First-person view is very nice and serves a purpose at certain points, but doing it all the time, unless you have the proper setup for it, was just absolutely almost to a point of torturous for me. But I'm glad that it's now in the rearview mirror. We can go into third-person view and just have loads and loads of fun. Let's see. So let me get over here, and I will catch up with the chat there. There we go. Look at that. And look how, I mean, this map is really, really cool. Like, it's really beautiful. Let's see, I'm way too far over. There we go. We'll give ourselves a nice little border. There we go. Perfect. All right, so we've got Jody also saying, I get frustrated myself because I'm not good at game like everyone else. I mean, that's the thing, bud, is go at your own speed. You don't have to that's the cool thing about this game too, is you don't have to compete with anybody. You don't have to do anything to anybody else's scale or measure. You can do whatever it is that you want when you want to do it. So it's one of those that you don't have to try and, keep up with anybody. You don't have to compete with anybody. It is whatever you want when you want it. So don't get frustrated. Don't feel like you have to do anything that's, going to get you upset or anything like that, because at the end of the day, it's not worth being upset about. This game is meant to be fun. Let it be fun. Let's see. Ken says, Jody, none of us are experts, especially me. And that's it. That's it exactly. Is we're all just here, to have fun. We're all here to just play a game and just kick back, relax, and, one of those that we don't need to take it too serious at the end of the day. And again, I say this all the time. That's one of the great things about this game. I've mentioned numerous times that I hold this game in such high regards. I mean, like I said, we're not competing with anybody. We're not measuring sticks with anybody. We get to show off our builds, and whatever our builds are here on the channel, I mean, it is what it is. Like, and everybody has their own, like, unique take on how they want their builds to be, how they want to do things, set things up, and nothing you do is wrong. Nothing that anybody does is wrong, because at the end of the day, as long as you're happy with it, then no, if you don't want them to, nobody else has to see it. That's the great thing, unless you're like me and you're coming on to YouTube and doing streaming or doing series and stuff like that, and you're kind of sharing the experience with everybody, then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Not worth any emotional investment like that. So just kick back, relax, and just enjoy yourself, bud. Just enjoy it. Let's see. Ken says, I'm learning new skills every time I play. Yeah, and that's it. That's it. There's every single time, like, I would argue that there's no such thing as a farming simulator expert. I would even say that the builders, like the people who actually make it, are not necessarily experts, because at the end of the day, yeah, they might create the game and the foundation that it sits on, but if you sit there and turn them loose on, like, creating a farm and whatnot, they're gonna make mistakes. They're gonna do stuff. We're all human, so it doesn't just take away from that fact, kind of thing. They're gonna sit there and do things that they're not gonna be happy with, or it's not gonna turn out just the way that they want, just like any of us. And they're the people who are, like, the most intimate with the game, with the code, with everything and how it functions. They know all the little tweaks and eccentricities that are available in it. Oh, we got I wonder if that's Jasper there. Nah, couldn't have followed me by train. Anyways, let's see. Jonah says, gonna be a good day. Yes, it is. Love it, Jonah. Love the reference there, by the way. Thank you very much. For those who didn't catch that, the wiggle bottom tractor there with gonna be a good day, that is one of my latest merch lines. I've got it on several bits of, I think I have it on shirts, several shirts, I think, for men and women, as well as, let's see, I'm trying to think if I also have it for other things at the moment. I could be wrong about that, but it is going to be a good day. Gonna be a good day. Jody says, how's everyone? How's everybody? I think it's supposed to be, how's everybody doing? I think is what that's supposed to say. And is there a really big fields on this map? I mean, for the most part, they're kind of medium to large size, but these two up here, or I would say even these three up here, are kind of the largest ones that you're going to see. You got this one at 21.59 hectares, this one at 13, and this one at 14. The rest of them are relatively, like, maybe 10 or less hectares, so not too shabby when it comes to that. But because this is a live stream, like we could have 100 episodes of the live stream here, quote unquote, 100, things, and we're gonna be able to dedicate 3+ straight hours to each one of these. Like, we don't have to necessarily try and do all the work to try and whittle it down to 1 hour increments. So we're able to really kind of be more intimate when it comes to this particular series, as opposed to how I was having to do Alma, which was, record, like I said, by the end of it, I was recording 9+ hours worth of content to whittle it down and edit it down to less than an hour's worth of content. It was starting to get up to be a lot at the end of it. So, and at the end of the day, I was looking at the playlist. There was over 50 separate bits of content on the playlist itself. So it was one of those, like, yeah, I'm okay with where we're leaving this. We might not have gotten deep into the episode numbers, but I started out that series by saying, you know what, I'll be happy if I'm able to get to a point where I've owned all the area, all the land right around the main farm there. And that blinker is just driving me nuts. There we go. All right, so now we got that worker going. So let's get this. So yeah, I wanted to be able to get everything all, owned there right by the immediate farm area. I also wanted to have everything to where I could actually build out the farm and all the various animals that were available there. I mean, there was tons of stuff I wanted to do, and I got it all done, which I was satisfied with. By that point, I was happy, and I felt that we were able to kind of very neatly and cleanly kind of, tip our cap and move on to the next phase. Oh, I cannot stop. I'm sorry. Go ahead. There we go. So this one, I gotta go way down to the last road. Looks like a dirt road there at the south. Okay. Let's see. Ken says, are you using precision farming here? Yes. So I personally, I really like precision farming. So it's one of those that I tend to just leave it on by default. Oh, you know what? That actually reminds me. Here, let's do this. Let's send a worker to drive me there, and I'll show you kind of the settings that I have going so far. So that way, we can all be on the same page. So let's go. There we go. Yep, there we go. So take a look at some of the settings here just real quick. So we're not under any false assumptions here. So normal economy, that's typically what I play on Let's Plays, and pretty much everything that I do, I play on this economy mode. Let's see. I also have periodic plowing turned on, as well as field stones, weeds, all that stuff. Dirt, normal, engine, that's not really important. The trailer fill limit, I always turn that off. That always just annoys me, not being able to use the full capacity of the trailers. And then basically everything has to be bought beforehand and will not be rebought with the AI worker themselves. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So economy, normal, and plowing is turned on. So you'll see here on my main farm, specifically on my fields, they are pretty much going to be due for plowing. You got 16 and 4. We've got the grass field here, which is going to need to be plowed out, and the soybean field will eventually need to be plowed out as well. So all that stuff is going to need to be done at some point, but we'll have to get to that when we get to that. Let's see. Jody says, I like my cheating mods. It makes the game a lot easier for me to play. That's what's good about the game, is you can play all kinds of ways. Yes, 100%. Yeah, if you want to have high capacity mods, if you want to have faster mods, all that stuff, you can do that. If you want super realism and first person view and kind of changing around kind of things, you can do that too. That's Yeah, it's a fantastic game for that reason. Like I mentioned that before in the past. I will continue to say it. Is that there's so many unique ways to play this game that is suitable for every person's playing style. So you don't often get that kind of uh, functionality in games like that, to where it's so customizable and so able to be manipulated to whatever suits the individual playing. Like oftentimes we'll get, maybe a difficulty bar slider, or we'll get, some kind of thing that will kind of change the aesthetics a little bit, but not the gameplay to such a wide degree. Like I said, you can watch one person play, and it is the way it is. You can go and watch the next person play. Here, let me stop right here. I want to save as much of that as possible, because no sense in spending money I don't need to. Alright, so this is the field I need to deal with. There should be an entrance over here. Alright. We got... Jody says, I appreciate it, buddy. Okay, I'll try that. Yeah, 100%. Give it a try. And like I said, you also just need to think about the things that you're really good at, like your strengths as well. Not just the map itself, but what kind of stories do you like to hear? And when you kind of think about the things that you like to hear, oftentimes there's going to be things that people agree with, with your kind of sense of storytelling. So figure out what your strengths are and then play off of those strengths. And then you'll start getting the stories, to start flowing almost naturally. It's one of those that, like for the Pelegni map there, I really just kind of, I don't want to say I winged it, but I kind of had some mental notes, some kind of highlights and key points that I wanted to hit when I was recording, but I didn't like make a script. I didn't do anything like that. I just kind of came up with these little highlights. It's like, okay, I want to touch this, I want to touch this and touch this, and kind of really kind of knock it out throughout that kind of high level process. And then everything else is just kind of, improv, I guess is what you could say. For me personally, um, improvisation might not be to everyone's strong suit. So, like I said, find out what works best for you, what kind of stories you like to hear, and what you'd like to be able to tell, and then kind of go from there. There we go. So if we take a look, I want to see. Okay. 11,754 for the reimbursement. I don't think we spent that. Did we? How much did we spend on fertilizer for these two contracts? Where's the money? There it is. Oh, 64,000. Did we spend $64,000? Huh. Oh, no, no, no. You know what? No, that's not what that is. Okay, so what that is, the reason why that price is like that is because I basically was having to set things up in the background. Um, so yeah, no, I don't recall how much we actually spent. So you figure we were just below $200,000. We're what? At 161, so that's what, $40,000. Well, I mean, man, I really hope we didn't spend that much. I really wasn't paying attention when I bought all that, so, huh. I will have to pay attention going into the future, though, because if we're spending that much money to do a contract, then it doesn't make sense to do a contract with that as a cost of doing the contract. Huh. I don't know. I'll pay more attention next time. Let's see. Where was I? Jody says, this is an awesome community, and I appreciate all the support from the community. Oh, no problem, bud. No problem whatsoever. And Ken says, no problem, Jody. We're here to help if we can. Yeah, 100%. That is the best thing about this community. I've said it numerous times as well, that this is one thing I never expected, just how close-knit and tight everyone here can be. It's fantastic when you can find a sense of community with a bunch of people. It's awesome. It's absolutely awesome. So yeah, that's definitely a huge bonus when it came to doing this channel and doing everything like this, and not just for myself, but I mean, like Jody said, he finds that the community is definitely beneficial for him as well. And I know several other people have said the same exact thing. So that's fantastic. And I'm so proud that we're building this space to be able to have a place where we can all come together, hang out, and have fun, have a good time. That's the ultimate goal, is to just kick back, relax, and have fun. Let's see. Jody says, my wife says, you got any more maps you can recommend? Ooh, let me think about that, bud. Let me think about it, and I'll get back with that. Will, hey, how's it going? Says, yo, what up, everyone? BDD, did you show any screenshots yet? I have not. I will be showing them later, though. Let's see. Ken says, what up, Will? Pippa says, hey, Will. And Ken says, Jody, just call me Ken. Let's see. There we go. So we are all caught up here with the chat. Absolutely perfect. And we're just going to continue to make our way around, get this done. Hopefully, man, I'm really kind of... Let's see, 26,000. If we get through this... Huh. I think we were at like $199,000. Depending on what we get as a payout for these, I mean, we might only make, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 at a time when it comes to these contracts for like fertilizer and all this stuff. So might not be as good of a payout as I originally hoped for. I mean, at least it's something. It's not going to be like spending money, but I'm going to have to pay attention. I'm going to have to make sure that I'm not just throwing money away and using like extra product or anything like that. So we're going to be definitely going to have to figure out the kind of tipping point, that kind of threshold. Let's see. Jody says, Alex, story about my grandpa. Sorry, Jody, I'm not sure what you're referring to there. Will says, what up, Ken, and what up, Philippa? Let's see. So, like I said, we already kind of covered the kind of basis behind what's going on here for Carpathian Countryside, what we're going to be doing for these live streams. Now, I'm going to move on to storytelling time. So, as I mentioned, it has been an absolutely slam-packed busy weekend. Absolutely slammed. Had my sister-in-law come in from out of town, from New York, up there. She's she's temporarily up there in New York City, and she came into town to do a baby shower for my wife, and wow. They ended up planning it for yesterday. Well, yesterday is also my wife and I's anniversary. So yesterday was our showerversary, which was a load of fun. We ended up doing the baby shower. It was kind of like a co-ed baby shower. It was basically just the family getting together and hanging out. It was basically what it all boiled down to. And we all just kind of hung out and just had some fun and whatnot. But... it was one of those where after everything was said and done, I was basically, looking after the little one for the time being. So my wife ended up going there early in the morning on Saturday, and getting basically thrown upstairs and says, "Don't come out until we call you," kind of thing. And I was told, okay, we'll come with our daughter at I think it was like 11 o'clock. And here, let's go ahead and do this real quick. So okay, bam, bam. Okay, so if we started at 199 and then we're now at 212, we made money. It was about what? What is that? That's 10, 11, 12. About 11 grand. No, 13. About 13 grand, give or take. So nowhere near as much as I would have loved to have made, but it's better than nothing. So that's kind of, like I said, that's what we're imposing on ourselves, is using the items that are available here on the map directly. We're going to use them as buy points, and if they're not available, then we will resort to the cheaper stuff. So now, let's see. Let's figure out what we can do about harvesting. So how big is this? It's less than 3 hectares and less than 4. So we need to get a harvester, we need to get a tractor, and we need to get a trailer. And let's do this. Let's go ahead and get a harvester. See, we can't spend a ton of money, so maybe go with the Deutzfahr for right now. Because you figure that's less than 7 grand plus a header and a trailer. What's this? So yeah, this is almost double. Oh yeah, it is double. So, I could go with one of my mods over here. Like the TARDIS here, but do I necessarily want to go with the unrealistic capacities? I could go with this one. It's 10,000 liters. Basically the Deutzfahr, but a little bit bigger capacity. And it's a bit cheaper. Let's see, what's the working speed on this? Oh, that's it with the header. Okay, 7 miles an hour or 12 miles an hour. Huh. I don't know. I have to think about it. Let's see. Pippa says, good. Well, it says, BDD, the thing that is different is that I switched to the 100 head of cattle to the new one with holds 500. Oh, nice, Will. Completely changed that. Yeah, see, the screenshot you sent me looked radically different, but I just couldn't put my finger on it what it was. And I presumed that you sent, like you got different buildings. That just looked off. So yeah, it completely changed it, but it was one of those, like, just couldn't put my finger on it exactly what it was. Jonah says, congrats, BDD. Thank you, Jonah. Appreciate it. Happy anniversary, brother. I also appreciate it, Will. Thank you. And let's see. I found an issue with Alma, Missouri on field 17. I reported to Celebuki. He looked at it and said, yep, it's going to be fixed in the next update. What was the issue? Jay says, okay, I'll let her. Okay, I'll tell her. Okay, I'll just call you Ken. Awesome. So, like I was saying, one of those where I was basically chasing around the kiddo for the time there, and we were only there, like, her and I were only there for maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours kind of thing, just kind of hanging out with everyone. And afterwards, we ended up getting in, well, because my dad's out of town right now, and I'm, like I said earlier, I'm watching his dogs. I ended up having to take his truck, because his vehicle is the only other vehicle we have with a car seat in it, to the party. So I'm driving home, and I get behind this guy on the highway. You know what? Let's just go ahead and go with this. You know what? No. We'll go with the TARDIS. We'll go with the TARDIS. We'll just get the normal one, the 10,000. So it's a little bit more capacity, a little bit cheaper. We'll go with the normal harvesting speed. So like this. Okay, I did lease it. And I need a trailer. Let's see. Header trailer. I guess we could just go with this one. There we go. So anyways, my daughter and I were driving home. We're on the highway. Ooh. Let's not run that over. And we get behind this person who's driving a truck, but he's got all these kind of... there we go. We'll just push that. He's got all these different boards just kind of strapped to the back of his truck. But the way that he's got it kind of set up is... are we going to be able to get that now? Uh-oh. Huh. Well, you know what? Why am I sitting there struggling with it when I got this thing? Oh, come on. Don't tell me it doesn't snap. Uh-oh. Is it because this is a modded header? Is that why it's not snapping? Alright, let's go about it this way. Alright, see, yeah. It locks it in place, but it doesn't actually snap, so you gotta be semi-precise with it. Alright, well. Alright. I guess that's what we gotta do. So anyways, they're carrying these, basically like floor moldings in their truck. And they've got to be every bit of 8+ feet long in the back of their pickup bed. Well, instead of strapping it down to the bed itself, maybe even laying the tailgate down and doing something like that, they ended up strapping it to where it was pitched on an angle to where the bottom of the boards were actually in the truck bed itself, but the top of the boards were hanging over the roof and catching the wind on the highway. Now, here in my local area here in Florida, the highway is 70 miles an hour. So they're driving at 70 miles an hour in the fast lane with these boards just whipping in the wind. Now, I'm not paying a huge amount of attention at the time, but just enough to kind of, be like, I'm just one of those feelings just kind of came over me. It's like, something just isn't sitting right. So I backed off. Just before, boom, the boards catch this big gust of wind, snap in half, and go flying into the air. I come within maybe, 2-3 feet of getting one just kind of hitting the side of the truck. Like I said, this is my dad's truck, and he has a very, very nice truck. It's one of the few things that he actually has is this nice truck. And I'm driving it around, and I almost catch a board, almost like that movie Final Destination. If anybody's ever seen that, with the giant log going piercing through the driver's side window, it wasn't to that level of dramatization, but it was enough to really kind of, I ended up having to swerve in the middle of the highway, and almost going off the road in this giant beast of a pickup truck. And yeah, I mean, there was probably, I don't know, maybe 6 different chunks of wood just going flying into the air like little torpedoes. And it's like, man, if I hadn't backed off exactly at that right moment, I mean, it would have completely destroyed the truck. Because like I said, I'm probably, like, the highway speed is 70. I'm probably going anywhere between 70 to 75 miles an hour, somewhere in that ballpark. I mean, if I would have caught that thing full speed, it would have destroyed the truck. It just would have absolutely destroyed it. No two ways about it. So, yeah, one of those. Needless to say, I was a little bit perturbed when when everything was all said and done, and I'm almost catching a board to the front of my dad's truck, and that truck, it only has like 4,000 miles on it. Like, it's got next to no miles on it. So I let out a few explicit words. I was letting them know I was not too pleased with them, because like I said, it was one of those, just, you could kind of just tell that the way that the boards were secured just wasn't safe, wasn't intended to be safe. It was just kind of haphazardly thrown on there, and just kind of strapped down at 2 points. So I was a little bit perturbed by that. Let's see. Where was I? Will says, I'll send it to you over Messenger. Awesome, bud. I'll check that out later. Joey says, I like stories about him crater farm around it. Yes, absolutely. If you can create a farm around it, yeah, absolutely. I just sent it to you. I was mowing and looked weird certain areas on the field. Both great map choices, man. Awesome. Yeah, I agree. I'm really, really pleased with being able to do both of these maps. Specifically, I was really happy about doing this map, the Carpathian Countryside. When this one came out, I've been really chomping at the bit to kind of try and come up with an excuse to do this map. But the problem is that once I did Alma, Missouri, and really kind of stood out at how rough the record schedule was for that map, that's when I kind of backed off. Oh, am I going the right way? I am not. I think I can get there from this way either way. So yeah, it was just one of those that I knew I wasn't going to do this one. After doing Alma, I wasn't going to do this as a Let's Play series. This was going to be a live stream only, because it does have a couple of larger fields on it. And with those larger fields, it's going to make recording a Let's Play very difficult. And I just want to be able to have more freedom than what the Let's Play series can give you, kind of thing. So, yeah, I'm really excited about doing both Poligny and Carpathian Countryside here. Really looking forward to it. Let's see. Go open this gate. So, anyways, after everything was all said and done, I was talking with my wife, and probably about a week ago, we had started noticing that our dishwasher was acting very strangely. It was basically acting like it was going to turn on, but never actually fired up. And eventually you could get it to a point to where it would, almost like the water pump had gone out on it. I'm not exactly sure if that's the case or if that was exactly what happened, but it, almost like that happened, to where the heating element would turn on at certain intervals and all that, but just wouldn't spray water. So it just seemed like that was the culprit. Here we've got to disconnect here. go. Oh, gotta unfold. Nice. Now we're talking. And we're going to get some straw. Perfect. So yeah, we're going to have to figure out, making some bales and all that stuff. We got to get a tractor so we can get all the product, tractor and trailer, get all the product back to the farm. I mean, yeah, we got stuff to do. But anyways, after the whole, kind of diagnosing, trying to figure out what was wrong with the dishwasher, my wife and I just decided, you know what? Let's just get a new dishwasher. It's not worth trying to figure out, does this need a new part or anything like that. It was one of those, the dishwasher itself was probably about 10 years old. And had we just replaced the pump and it just so happened to work and all that stuff, one of those where it probably only a matter of time before the next part went out. And then the next part, and the next part. And then it just turns into one of those money pits. So it was one of those, her and I discussed and like, yeah, we should go and get a new dishwasher. Well, today we had to go do a bunch of errands and whatnot, and one of the trips that we ended up making was to Lowe's, and we decided, hey, we're going to take a look at dishwashers and see what we can find. And sure enough, we ended up finding a dishwasher. And now, I've never installed a dishwasher before, but I'm not, a slouch when it comes to being able to kind of figure things out. So I went out and I looked up several YouTube videos and just kind of, just to understand the mechanics and what to expect kind of thing. And sure enough, I ended up going through it, all of that today, in probably about the span of 2 hours. Ended up ripping out the old one, putting the new one in, and it's working. It's working great. And I am absolutely exhausted from lugging into the house and getting everything kind of ripped out, put back in, and all that stuff, because I was doing everything in a very much of a time crunch, because my wife, she ended up taking the little one out and about so that I had the whole kind of run of the house. But unfortunately, I ran out of time, and they came back, and one of those that I had to deal with the little one trying to help out. And she's so darn cute, because whenever, she sees me doing something, she walks up next to me and help. And then she'll like sit on top of me or sit on my lap or whatnot while I'm trying to sit there and work. It's like, it's one of those where you can't be mad kind of thing, but it's like, oh, now I can't get my work done. But you're so darn cute that, you know what, it's okay. It's okay kind of thing. So yeah, we ended up getting the new dishwasher installed and getting it up and running, and I'm pretty happy with it. I did have a bit of a scary moment with it, though. Ended up getting it all installed and got it all plugged in, wired, and all that stuff. Well, as we get it wired up and plugged in and turned on and all that stuff, all of a sudden it starts flashing an error code on the little screen. It just comes up with this little 2-digit error code and then another 2-digit error code, and I'm like, what is going on here? Like, don't tell me I bought a lemon kind of thing. And we get to, I'm going through and I'm like, oh man, how do I figure this out? Well, I went ahead and went digging through all the paperwork and all that stuff, because of course by this time I took it all and I threw it all into the box that it came in. And I'm looking through the paperwork. I'm like, okay, let me see if I can find the booklet and all that stuff. I find the booklet and I find the section that tells you all about the troubleshooting codes and all that stuff. Well, basically the code that I got saying, for professional installer, do this. For, the average Joe Schmo, do that. And I'm like, okay, these are wildly different things. And the first thing it said is, go ahead and press the clear button and then see if that fixes it. So it was almost like, because I'm into computers and all that stuff, basically like, did you restart the computer? And for any IT people out there, you'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. Did you restart the computer? Anyways,
So I press the button. It kind of clears and says it's draining and whatnot, and I'm sitting there waiting for it to do anything. Oh, goodness, excuse me. I'm waiting for it to do something. And all of a sudden it starts beeping at me again and with the same error code. I'm like, oh man, all right, well go down to the next thing. What does the next thing say? And it says the you need to unplug and replug in the float switch. And I'm like, so in my house a few years ago, we ended up redoing all the floors, and I ended up putting down a almost 3/4 of an inch subfloor to the floor itself to one kind of build up the thickness of the floor and to help level a few places, because when they poured the concrete, it didn't level properly in some places. So when we wanted to put down new flooring, it just wasn't going to work out well. So there was going to be like big bows and waves and whatnot. So figured just adding a little subflooring to it was not going to be a big deal. Well, that means that the old washing machine that was in there is now going to have to overcome a 3/4 inch lip that I didn't actually account for when I put in the subflooring. All right, so we got that. Let's go ahead and just turn that off. And whoops, now we need a tractor and a trailer. So we just need a little cart pusher. We don't need anything too dramatic. We could do this little. Well, do we have any that goes? Oh, we could do we can do the little New Holland here. Goes 31 miles an hour, and it's a CVT. So yeah, let's do that. We don't need tons of power. But for an extra grand, I can get an extra 50 horse. Now here, let me think about this, because we're also going to need to bale and we're also going to need to plow. So here, how many horsepower does the cheapo John Deere take? Perfect. What about plows? Is it subsoilers? Where's that one by Ridiculous Dominic? Oof. 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 320 horse? Oof. Okay, well, those are not... I mean, I could do this one here and turn it around. Kind of have it facing in reverse. Does... this one might work in the same... no, because it's got the actual 3-point link. So I don't think I can hook it up in the... Or no, wait. Can you? I don't know. We'll figure it. You know what? That's future Dave's problem. We'll figure that out. Let me catch up with the chat here real quick. Let's see. Where was I? Okay. Will says send a plethora of screenshots to BDD. Yes, he has. We'll get into those here shortly. Will also says, I thought they looked all right. Yes, absolutely they did. In New York, we had a major... In New York, that would be a major fine. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And here's the thing is, had they been caught, I'm sure they would have been subjected to a fine here as well. But one of those, I'm sure they just kind of stopped where they were. Did I? No, I didn't get it. I'm sure they just stopped where they were and then picked up whatever they could and just took off from there, kind of thing. So one of those that, I mean, it is what it is, but I would have been absolutely furious had my dad's, truck with less than 5,000 miles on it gotten, wrecked in my care. I would have been really upset. And it seems we got a TARDIS. Why not? We'll get the... We don't have to go too crazy right now. There we go. All right. Perfect. So, about the boards, yes. And then Will says, "What up to Jonah? No more common sense." Yeah, well, that's it. It just seemed like a really silly way to try and transport all those boards. When everything was said and done, it's like you didn't even bother to think about how wind resistance works. You know, especially when getting on the highway, like you really got to think about that kind of stuff. And like I said, it was, and the funny part about it is I've got it all on video. Just like, as I always tell you, get dash cams. Get dash cams. They will come in they will be lifesavers. You never know when or if you'll need them, but if you need them, you'll be thankful that you got them, kind of thing. And I've got it on video. I already pulled the camera. I already pulled the video and whatnot. And yeah, I mean, you can see one of the boards. Had I not jerked the wheel at that specific time, it would have like gone right through the front of the grill. Like it would have hit the truck and would have created a fair bit of damage when everything's said and done. So I'm glad that that's not the case. I'm glad that it all worked out. But you know, it just it was wild. I was thinking about, you know, posting it to the channel again, just like I did the last time I had some kind of, you know, incident like that. But this one I will have to mute mute my audio because, yeah, like I said, I was not pleased when everything was said and done. And I didn't respond in the most dignified of manners. Let's see. Let's open this up. This trailer makes this tractor look like just a wee baby. I don't know why all of a sudden the big guy from Austin Powers just came rocketing into my brain like that. It's just a baby. Get in my belly. I don't know. Again, my brain works in mysterious ways sometimes. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love this map. Such a beautiful map. We've gone from beautiful map to beautiful map to beautiful map. We were there in Alma. We went to Pelegni. Now we're here in Carpathian Countryside. Oh, just absolutely fantastic. And I tell you what, though, this map, it really does push my boundaries when it comes to the color palette. You can see all the various colors of flowers and all that, and it's really close to being too much, that cartoon factor that I talk about. There we go. Let's see. Where was I? Ken says, Will, I had trouble getting to sleep the other night, so I put on your 6-hour video, and it did the trick. Oh, no, LOL, Ken, I know. No. It does not suck, dude. No. One of those where everybody has the type of content that they like. I mean, that's the plain and simple. And it's one of those where I know people have fallen asleep during my streams. You know, it's not necessarily boring. It's just one of those where the content is what it is. And depending on when we're watching, what we're doing for those days, you know, don't sell your show. I guess what I'm trying to say is don't sell yourself short, kind of thing. There we go. Let's get this. Let's see. Actually, let me keep on reading the chat here. Gold Gaming! Hey, Gold, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Says, howdy, neighbors. Ken also says it was better than taking sleeping pills. You have good content. Yes. Let's see. Dashil. Oof. I'm going to butcher that name. I apologize. Darshil has an O. Darshil, hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Let's see. Will then says, thanks, man. LOL. Alex says, are you going to make small squares or large? So normally what I end up doing is just kind of going through and making a couple of headlands, giving myself enough space to be able to kind of work my way around. And eventually I'm going to set the AI worker off. And based on the kind of layout of this particular field, I'm likely going to send them in a north-south direction. So that way they're going to be able to get all of the, or should be able to get all of the wheat off of this field and not miss any big patches. So it really just kind of depends on the specific field that I'm working on at that specific moment as to how I will approach and send people off. But just one of those where they will allow me to be able to just kind of do what I have to do. And in this case, it looks like this is going to be the way to set them off right here on this edge. So I think this is going to be a good north-south direction right here. Yeah, look at that. That looks pretty straight to me. There we go. So maybe something like that. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. So they'll go ahead and keep on going in that direction. Let me continue reading. So we've got Will says, thanks, man. LOL. Oh, no, wait, I read that already. Will says, I carried a washer and dryer by myself down a flight of stairs. Oh, yeah. Same here, dude. That's pretty much what ended up happening. I tell you what, though. Had a really cool experience at the store itself. So I'd parked way off in the back because, again, I had my dad's truck. And parked it way off in the back because I don't dare trying to park next to not that I don't dare try to park next to other people. I can park it just fine. It's that it's not my truck, so I don't want it to be around other people. I want to be away from others so that, you know, it doesn't come back with a ding or something like that. And it's one of those, like, just trying to be mindful, you know, because again, not my truck. And I go to walk up to the truck, and my wife's there. Like, she's 9 months pregnant, so she isn't lifting anything heavy. So I'm getting ready to bend over to grab the washing machine or the dishwasher, and somebody who parked, you know, way out in the distance with me saw me there getting ready to pick up this thing, and he got out of his truck. He's like, hey man, you need a hand or anything? I'm like, oh man, if you're offering, that'd be fantastic. But I mean, just out of the blue like that, how cool is that? You really, you don't see that too often, where you get somebody who's like just genuinely wanting to help. I mean, it just really restores faith in people when you see those kind of random acts of kindness, like that one there. That one really kind of hit home very well, in my opinion. Now, something just occurred to me. I should be getting a harvesting. My map isn't showing the amount of harvest that I'm getting off of the amount of yield that I'm getting, so that's kind of weird. Oof. Oh, it just went up to 48. Well, ooh, that's gonna be brutal. Let's see. So where was I? Jonah says, I guess those boards were bored about being on the truck. Yeah, 100%. Waychair, hey, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Message redacted. Ken says, LOL to Jonah. Gold says, that's crazy. Yeah, oh yeah. Waychair says, hey, Badidi, glad to see you moved to Europe. Yes, I did. Both maps, actually. So here on Carpathian Countryside, for the live streams, and that's going to be its own separate series, as I mentioned before. And we've got Pelegni, which is going to be the Let's Play series, and that's going to be its own thing. So we're really doing a Eurocentric kind of Let's Play and live stream series here. So yeah, Europe is going to be very well represented here over the coming probably a couple months is going to be my guess. Yeah, probably a month or two. Is probably how long we'll be on each one of these maps. Is going to be my guess. Oh, much better. There we go. Waychair says, fallen asleep countless times playing when I wake up, always stuck in the Yes! Waychair, 100%. I've done that so many times. And it's always at the most crucial parts. I can't tell you the number of times I've woken up in a tree, woken up in a lake, woken up just anywhere and everywhere that is just the wrong place to be. I tell you what, this game just exemplifies how driving while tired is like the absolute worst things that you can do. I mean, just behind drinking and driving, like, kind of thing. Just like, if you're exhausted, pull over, catch some sleep, don't drive while you're tired, kind of thing. Just kind of a Dave's PSA for a moment there. But I mean, yeah, it's I cannot tell you the number of times I've done something silly like that, and I've had it to where I've actually lost loads and loads of product because I'm so exhausted, but I'm trying, and did it there on Alma. I did it on Alma because, again, I was having up to 9-hour recording sessions. I was having like 4 or 5 different recording segments on some of these Let's Play series episodes. It was absolutely nuts and how out of control that map was getting. So, you know, like I said, it was one I'm glad that we kind of were able to move on from. We had plenty of content for that series, so I don't feel regretful with having to kind of tip my cap and, you know, bid it adieu. Even though I absolutely loved that series, I loved playing it, really loved that map. Silabuki did an amazing job on that map. Yeah, it was my fault. It was 100% my fault picking a map that really I shouldn't have picked for that specific series because of the size of the fields. The size of the fields is what really kind of determines it from now on for me when it comes to if it's going to be an acceptable Let's Play map or a acceptable live stream map. So basically, medium to small fields are acceptable for Let's Plays. Everything else is wide open for live streams. That's basically what we're going to be boiling everything down to now. Let's see. Ken says, LOL, away chair. And Brady, hey, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic night so far. Says, hey, everyone. How is everyone? How is this map? I tell you what, man, I absolutely love Carpathian Countryside. I've always really wanted to play on this map and just haven't had the ability to do so because always something came out that kind of took its place. And it's one of those also where I was trying my best to stay on the more relevant side of the maps, and what I mean by that is having a map where it's newer and is going to be able to catch more eyes. Because everyone's going to be wanting to see like the newest, latest, and greatest kind of maps. But now that we're starting to slow down and really kind of get into a more, oh, you know what? I should go and unload. But now that we're starting to get towards the end of Farming Simulator 22, it's one of those where the amount of maps that we're getting is becoming fewer and fewer, and they're starting to come out fewer and farther between. So one of those that it's becoming less and less important to make sure that we're on the latest and greatest map kind of thing. So I don't know if y'all can hear it, but the dog is sitting here laying in the couch next to me just snoring away. And of course we're at probably 99% in that hopper bin on that, and now it's just gonna crawl, but I can't turn off the worker because if I do, they'll destroy all the plants underneath. Yeah, look at that. Oh, it's not even at night. Like, it is literally 100%, but it's just... oh my goodness. Alright, there we go. Let's unload this. There we go. Let's see. Benji! Hey, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic night so far. Benji says, good evening, everyone. Ken says, Mr. CLP did a series on this map. Yes. Yes, he did. And that's the other thing, too, is there are certain creators that when I decide that I'm going to come up with a map or that I want to do a map, unless it's one of those kind of, like, I really want to do it kind of maps, if another content creator, another bigger content creator is doing a map, doing a Let's Play series or doing something with a map, I tend to try to avoid it, not to step on their toes kind of thing. So just one of those, Mr. CLP did a series on this, and when I was going to consider doing it earlier and actually have it be a part of the Let's Play series before kind of learning my lessons with Alma, you know, it was definitely in the running, but then end up kind of reeling it back in because of the you know, issues that we were having with Alma. So now we're at a point to where we can really kind of let her hair down and really kind of cut loose. Now I want to take this over to the silo system over here because I want to make sure if my assumption is right in regards to the silo system. I think there's really that whole silo system, shredder, pig feed mixer thing is a really kind of weird amalgamation of a system itself, so I'm not 100% certain as to what belongs where, where's the drop off, where's the unloads, and all that stuff. So I want to kind of use this as my test to be able to figure that out. It's over there. Okay. Now let's see. Oof. That's there's a thing there. So I think this is the unload for the silo. Now I should be able to confirm that. Yeah, silo. Okay. Okay. Yep. So it is in the silo. Wait, building storage. Storage is empty. Wait, what? I'm not putting this into here, am I? No. Okay, so this is a silo. Okay. This is the silo. So I think this is the output for the silo. Which means, what kind of stuff will this take? Is this a multi-fruit, or is this just a base game storage silo? And this will also tell me if this is the output for... Yep, 20,000. Perfect. Okay. So basically a base game one, but looks like for some reason gems are and pay dirt are part of the base kind of crop system. Alright, well, that's okay. Let's go ahead and head back. Oh, there's a... Ah! Alright, so... catch up with the chat in just a second here. Perfect. Oh, you know what? That's why it's not showing me the yield, because for some reason it's showing the fertilized state. That's always kind of an annoyance whenever that kind of bug or glitch happens for the precision farming. There we go. Yeah, so we're gonna have to do a ton of work to this fields. We're gonna have to plow them, mulch them. We're gonna have to pick up the straw. We're gonna have to, let's see, fertilize, lime. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to do. Loads of stuff. All right, so where was I? Benji says just woke up from a nap. Awesome, nothing wrong with that. Ken says those fields across from the farm ran 3 harvesters to harvest those fields. Yeah, the big ones. I remember when he did that. It was these ones, I believe. It was 8 and 9, if I'm not mistaken. Had 3 harvesters all at the same time, just chugging along. He basically had one, if I remember how he did it right, he basically took one in the middle and just set it off. Then when that one kind of went off and it's whatever direction it went in, he set the other one off to go in the opposite lane because this is already kind of split in half. And then he basically did the same thing, for down the other end. So yeah, it basically just sending off workers and getting them to do all the work for him. And I think he used some of the smaller equipment too, if I'm not mistaken. I think he used like the Deutzfahrs and just kind of let them chug away and get the work done. If I remember correctly, that was one of the series that I think I started to watch, but then kind of trailed off. Really kind of trying to focus on creating my content and not necessarily be influenced by what other people are doing. Let's see. Where was I? Saskatchewan, hey, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic night so far. Oilers are playing against Vancouver, so why don't stream every day? So one of those where I really can't stream every day. It's not that I can't stream every day. I in theory could, but I do like creating the Let's Play series and kind of the more story-driven bits of content that I do. So one of those where we're keeping those intact, and they're going to have their own map, as I've mentioned before, and we're going to have this one kind of be our live stream series, and we're going to be going back and forth and bouncing between the Let's Plays and the live streams. So we're going to be kind of getting the best of both worlds, because there's some people who don't necessarily like to come onto the live streams and don't really like the, kind of, for lack of a better word, chaotic nature that a live stream can entail. People are more wanting the actual, like, nitty-gritty kind of nuts and bolts of the farming and the stories and all that stuff. So that's why I produce the Let's Play series, and there's others who, like us here, like to be able to come on and hang out and just have a good time. So that's kind of where that one kind of lies. Let's see. Groot! Hey, how's it going, Groot? Hope you're having a fantastic night so far. Says, what's this? A new map? Sweet. Yes. So we are on Carpathian Countryside. We have finally bid adieu to Alma, Missouri, and now we are doing 2 separate series. We're doing a Let's Play series and a live stream series, so that we can have the full story kind of in its entirety on Pelegni, and now we have a live stream series on Carpathian Countryside, where we are going to not have a story per se. We're just going to be hanging out and doing like what we normally would do on our live streams, but we're also going to have the ability to build and just make advancements that we couldn't necessarily do in the previous iteration of Alma, because Alma had the kind of hybrid of doing some story and some like work. kind of thing. So we wanted to be able to do story driving things like building and all that stuff for the Let's Play series and all that for Alma, and this was really more reserved for work. So no longer are we bound to those old ways. We are now in the new school. Let's see. So we've got it's 3-2 for Edmonton Oilers against Vancouver. Nice. Ken says Carpathian Farmer Groot. Saskatchewan says to Saskatchewan Roughriders training camp next week. Saturday CFL starts next week, Sunday. Oh, nice. That'll be fun. Farmer Groot says, yep, I tried this map a long time ago. I liked it, but really takes up the storage space. Yeah. So imagine using up all the storage space for this one and Pelegny. I chose two heavy hitters when it came to map builds. I think this one here is like 900 megabytes, and I think Pelegny's like 800 megabytes. They're both huge. They're absolutely huge. I think between all the mods and all that stuff that I have, I think I'm up to something like 92% of capacity for my system. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff going on. So we are basically up to our eyeballs in mods and maps. So it is what it is, though. We're gonna have loads of fun on this map. I've been really looking forward to doing this map for a very long time. I keep saying it, I know, but one of those I have been really looking forward to it. Saskatchewan says, my Saskatchewan Roughriders has been playing against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in the CFL preseason. Oh, very nice. Ken says, Bison Harvester, Dave. Yes, I do. Well, this isn't the Bison. This is the, what is this one? Why am I blanking on it? This is the TARDIS. This is the TARDIS Harvester. But I do have a Bison. Or no, that's the guy again. Didn't I have a Bison? I thought I did. Oh, I could have gotten this old school Dominator. But it's only like 4.5 meters wide, so yeah. What about this one? That's 5.1. Anyways, I thought I did, but I guess I uninstalled it. Oh, we're full. There we go. Perfect. Let's see. Saskatchewan says Edmonton be playing against Florida in couple for the Stanley Cup. I could see that. I could see that being the final outcome. Brady says, do you recommend I create a separate channel to do just farming content or on it, or do you think that just continue with the just one channel? I only wonder because on this I play a bunch of games. So it's one of those where how do I it's one of those that one's really going to be up to you. Now it's one of those where I had every intentions on doing content beyond Farming Simulator when I first started this channel. But it's one of those where I haven't had the inkling or the real itch to play anything else here lately. So one of those where I just kept playing because I just enjoy it so much. And I don't necessarily want to get all worked up or getting super competitive or getting upset kind of thing. It's one of those, the reason why I like this game so much is it allows me to kind of relax, calm down, and just kind of de-stress from the day kind of thing. So one of those where I don't think that as long as you don't have like an overabundance of one specific game or whatnot, then I think you'd be fine with, you know, kind of breaking it up, because what'll happen is you'll be able to capture, you know, people from all those different communities and be able to kind of, bring them under your wing. Now, the only problem you'll run into is that if somebody's wanting to follow you because of the specific game that you're playing and you're bouncing around from game to game to game, then they might be, for lack of a better word, put off by the, I want to follow him because of this content or this game kind of thing. And if you're bouncing from, playing this game to that game to that game kind of thing, then they might not necessarily stick around. So it's one of those kind of, you got to kind of ride the fence, is making sure that you're not just, I think it's more important that you are sticking to one thing for a certain amount of time and then moving on to the next, and not just, putting out one bit of content one day, the next bit the other day, and taking days, weeks, or even months to come back to the first bit of content that you were doing. That's where people are gonna, kind of get put off by the various different stuff. I mean, you look at other creators like Markiplier or I mean, really, anybody along those lines, they are going to have, all sorts of different content, and he puts out different content all the time. But what you tend to find like somebody like him do is that when he does do a game that is, more involved, then he'll make several episodes of that same game, and then kind of play it until it's completed. So that's kind of my advice, is just make sure that you're not, leaving people hanging, from game to game. Let's see. Want to build a farming community on? Yeah. So like I said, it's one of those. You also, by creating another channel, you also bifurcate the potential of the community that you are building. So you're basically siloing off things to where you might be able to bring people into separate communities by not siloing yourself off and having the multiple bits of content on the same channel. It just really all kind of depends. There's going to be some people who are going to follow you just because it's you, regardless of the content that you're producing. So you can potentially get that kind of crossover if you have a channel that's dedicated to more than just one specific genre. Who knows? Maybe one day I will break off into other games and whatnot, because it is BDD gaming, it's not BDD farming. But who knows? It's one of those that I think it'll just all kind of depend on the mood and if there's anything out there really that I really get an inkling to play. Like here lately, I just haven't had that kind of itch, that drive to really be like, oh man, I really got to play this. I really want to do something, because there's a game coming out that's really kind of got my interest in kind of my motor running kind of thing. I haven't really had that for a long time. It's been really kind of lacking in that kind of want and desire of picking up the game controller for another game. So like I said, it's there's going to be some pros and there's going to be some cons for it. And what you're going to have to kind of weigh out is, does the pros from one outweigh the cons from that one, and vice versa. Let's see. Ken says that's what Mr. Sealy P used. Yes, the Bisons. I do remember that now. Yeah, he had 3 of the Bisons, and because it was cheap, it was one of the cheaper ones, and I had decent capacity, so he was able to kind of, he still had to unload a whole bunch because I mean they're not huge on capacity, but what he had in his favor is that they were cheap. Let's see. Ken says, thought you would have used the Fiat Renault or the Star tractors. I mean, that's certainly going to be something that could be done in the future. when it comes time to actually purchasing things. Right now we're just leasing, so it's kind of, we'll kind of use whatever we can use, especially in the efforts to kind of keep things cheap. So we don't want to spend a whole ton of money on just leasing equipment just to get these first couple of jobs done. Let's see. Ken also says, thought they would have been more suitable for both maps. Yeah, so I ended up doing a bit of research for both Carpathian Countryside and Pelegni. And what I ended up doing is I went to a used tractor equipment website that services both France and oh my goodness, I can't think right now. Carpathian. Why? My brain is melting, guys. It just shut down. Carpathia. Where in the world? It's not Poland. Czechoslovakia? Czechoslovakia. Yes. There. That's what we're talking about. To see what kind of farm equipment was actually available in those areas. And what I did find is for France, there was an abundance, a very large abundance of John Deere equipment, specifically John Deere tractors that was available there in France. And then for here, let's see, there was the Renault, there was the Staras. Let's see, what else was there? I'd have to look at my list. I ended up making lists of tractors and brands that I'm going to kind of keep my eye out for, to kind of keep it more to the flavor of the map. Let's see. Steve, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Says, if you find Strusi in Slovakia on Google Maps and activate Street View outside the Carpathian Countryside farm, it's scary just how true to life the map is. Freaked me right out. Really? Ooh, I am definitely gonna look that up. Oh wait, I just said Czech Republic. It is Slovakia. What? Wow. You know what? Maybe I'm getting more tired than I realized. Oh my goodness. Yep, gonna be one of those nights, y'all. Let's see. Brady says, thanks for the information. It was something I have been thinking about for a while now. Yeah, like I said, there's going to be pros and there's going to be cons. You know, it's one of those that you might not necessarily... by siloing yourself off, you might not get those people who will want to follow you across different channels and whatnot. So they might, hang out with you on one channel, but it's like, man, having to click that subscribe button for another or whatever, there are certain things that people are willing to do, for the content kind of thing. And if it's something that they enjoy, then yeah, they'll click the subscribe button very easily. But they might be more into other bits of content and not willing to follow along kind of thing, unless they're more into you and your personality rather than the content per se. So one of those kind of 6 of one, half dozen the other, but I don't think it's really something that is going to be too devastating in either direction kind of thing, in my personal opinion. Again, I'm not an expert. I'm not like the end-all be-all when it comes to content creation or understanding all the ins and outs of the various do's and don'ts of YouTube and channel making. I'm very much kind of learning as I go, and the only thing that I have under my belt that kind of qualifies me is a year and a half of just doing this. That's really about it. Like I said, I'm not an expert, not an expert when it comes to this stuff, and just one of those. I'm learning every day, trying to learn every day, something new, something to to keep us fresh and into moving into the future, kind of thing. I always like being able to look down in the hopper and see. That's always cool. Just cool little details. Let's see. So while we have the worker kind of working here, let's go ahead and show off some screenshots. Now, I don't have a lot of different people sharing screenshots today, but what I do have are, let's see. What I do have is a bunch from Will T Gaming. So, Will sent us these. Let's go ahead and start sharing these. As you can see, absolutely beautiful there on Alma, Missouri. Will doing a bunch of windrowing and merging there on his farm. Getting some planting done with the John Deere planter. Very sharp. Oh, Cohen there in town. Looks like that's the boom sprayer, the John Deere boom sprayer. Very nice. Oh, got some more merging going. Yeah, look at that. That's, I tell you what, I really do love the look. Or no, that's not merging. That's actually mowing. Okay. Look like mowing alfalfa, if I'm not mistaken there, Will. Yeah, that's exactly what that is. That's the oh, what's that one bit of equipment for the mower? It's the oh, got some more boom spraying going there. Let's see, what is that one? Oh, got the early riser planter there. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. I tell you what, that's a sharp photo right there. Oh, very nice. Got the John Deere. Is that a weeder? It almost looks like a weeder, maybe. I cannot remember what that mower's called. The big batwing one. Nice. Love the little dirt, like dust dirt effect there. Just looking up over the hill. Oh yeah, that's alfalfa right there. So, Brady, on this map, you start out with a whole bunch because you basically, basically what I ended up doing is leaving the farm and the fields as is. But this farm is a big cooperative. It's absolutely huge. So you start out with a ton of equipment, but I ended up deleting everything and doing a semi-start from scratch. So unfortunately, I can't show you everything that comes here standard because I don't own it. But yeah, you get tons and tons of equipment because it's this giant cooperative that you're supposed to use. Let's see as we continue on the mowing session here. Got the big case mower. Looks like the Case Magnum, maybe. Oh, got some. Looks like some manure work there. Some slurry. Got the big one tank on the left side was completely full, which doesn't surprise me considering it's got what, like 5,000 cows almost there, Will, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, look at that big case doing the mowing. Very nice, very nice looking screenshots here. Let's see. Jonah says, "Hey BDD, what's your worst flight experience?" Oh my goodness. Okay. I will answer that here in just a second. It's a doozy. It's an absolute doozy, my worst experience. Actually, you know what? I'll tell two stories. I'll tell two. Yeah, let's make it through the rest of the screenshots here, and then I will go ahead and tell that one, because oh my goodness. Yeah, these are just absolutely stunning, Will. Will has a very good eye when it comes to taking screenshots and just recognizing the natural beauty and in the landscape. He does a very, very good job with his screenshots, and he does a really good job also with the low profile when you're able to just kind of be down at ground level using the vehicle's camera and kind of almost looking at an upward angle. Again, going through town with the John Deere. Oh, we got the mean green with the case early riser. Never the two shall between. Well, got a is that the Trident sprayer? Can't remember what that one's called. Got the John Deere getting ready to go out and do some work, some mowing. Very nice. Oh, and that looks like a bit of weed work to do. Very, very nice. Yep, doing some more weeding there. Again, just that nice natural view, and a lot of that also, that one I like. That one I really like. Got the big tall grass in the foreground that's kind of peeking through to the John Deere in the background. Very, very nice. I like that screenshot. Will did a good job there. Oh, and that is it. Go back to the game here. So, what was my worst flight experience? I will tell you two particular stories. So, back when I was, I don't know, maybe 13, 14, I ended up taking a flight with my mother, and her and I were going down to Florida for the first time, kind of, going on family vacation. And we were going to meet my father down here because he was driving and her and I were flying. And we ended up flying home because he was sticking around after everything was said and done because he was working on some business. And her and I, we ended up, I think it was Spirit, if I'm not mistaken, which was our first mistake. We ended up getting on the plane. We were getting ready to take off, and all of a sudden, this loud thump, boom, pow, and then the whole plane just starts shaking and rattling. It was probably the third or fourth most scared I've ever been in my entire life when this happened. And all of a sudden, the plane banked hard to the left. We rolled back towards the airport and came right back in for a landing. And it was the hardest landing that I've ever experienced. It was the wildest experience. And turns out the plane ended up sucking up a bird and blew out a motor. So yeah, that was probably like the scariest experience that I've had. And the even worse part about it is that after that, because obviously they couldn't take us in the plane, we had to wait for our next flight, and that was about 8 hours later before we could actually get on the next plane and get back home. So yeah, we were scared out of our wits and didn't like that we had to wait for that long before we could actually get home. Well, probably the worst experience I had, that was not, me risking my life, was, let me think, it's probably in my 20s, probably my late 20s, maybe early 30s. And I was flying from, I think I was flying from Tampa to Georgia. And when I was flying to Georgia, the stewardess that was on the flight was just very rude, very obnoxious. Like, you could just tell that she just absolutely hated her job, didn't want to be there. And I'm sitting there in my chair, and I have my headphones on and whatnot, just waiting for the plane to take off, but I have one ear off. And I'm just sitting there listening to my music with one ear off so I can hear if they tell me anything or if somebody says something, to be able to respond and not just, be rude. Well, the stewardess comes by, sees I have my headphone on, and she starts berating me and saying, "Sir, we need to be able to make announcements, and you need to take those off," and then like shaking her finger at me, the whole 9 yards. And like I said, I'm late 20s, early 30s at this point. It's like, ma'am, my mother doesn't even shake her finger at me like that. Who the heck do you think you are? Kind of thing. And that's what I'm sitting there thinking in my head, but whatever. Well, that's how the flight starts. Well, we get into the air, and they're, doing their services and all that stuff, and we start coming in for a landing. Well, the same stewardess sits there and is checking everybody's seat backs, making sure that everybody's tray tables are up and seat backs in their upright position, the whole 9 yards. And she comes up to the person that's ahead of me and across the aisle. I'm in the aisle seat, and she's like, "Sir, you need to set your seat up." And he's like, my seat's up. Like, he's genuinely confused. And she's like, "Sir, I can see that your seat is leaned back." He's like, "No, my seat's not back." She leans down, grabs the button on his armchair, and yanks his chair, like with all the strength that she can muster, just yanks this thing. It doesn't budge an inch, besides, just him kind of rocketing out of his seat because of the inertia that she's exhibited onto the seat. And she's like, "Oh, well, my mistake." And then he's, he kind of, is mad and kind of winces. He's like, "Lady, I have a really bad back. What's wrong with you?" And she's like, "Sir, you need to watch your tone." And like, she just immediately just like doesn't apologize, doesn't like do anything besides, immediately go on the defensive. And she's like, or he's like, "Ma'am, my back, like, I've had surgeries on my back, and you just come by and yank on my seat back like that." She's like, "Sir, you need to remain in your seat when we get to the final destination." And he's like, "For what?" He's like, "Because I'm calling the cops. When you land, the cops will be there waiting for you." Like, he wasn't heated. He wasn't like sitting there screaming at her or being unreasonable or anything like that. And I've seen this going on, and I'm like, no, she is legitimately not doing this. And all of a sudden we get to landing into Atlanta, and not her, but they make an announcement over the phone. It's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, please remain in your seats when we pull into the gate. We need to deboard and allow the police to come on to the flight." And it's like, oh, she literally is calling the cops on this guy. And that's when I knew, it's like, nah, this is not kosher, like, whatsoever. So I ended up, talking to one of the cops as they were, sitting there, um, in the kind of aisleway, the little, what is that? The jetway, I think is what it's called. I am talking to him. It's like, look, the guy didn't do anything wrong. Like this person was on an absolute power trip. She is 100% in the wrong. Um, and the cop looked at me. He's like, look, man, you're like the dozenth person to tell us this. Don't worry, he's not in trouble. It sounds like this woman is just having a really off day, kind of thing. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. As long as he's not in trouble, because like I said, he did nothing wrong. He wasn't being rude. He wasn't like yelling and screaming. The worst thing he says, like, ma'am, like I've had surgeries on my back, freshly, like you yanking on my back and torquing it like that is not, not appropriate, not appreciated, kind of thing. Especially when I'm sitting here telling you the chair is fine. Like the chair is in its upright position. So yeah, that was not my worst experience, but my worst kind of like experience through somebody else. I don't know, the transitive property of bad experiences. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Jonas says bird strike, I bet. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was exactly it. Bird went through the engine and completely blew it out. It was an absolutely terrifying experience. Kentucky Fried Seagull. Yes, 100%. Had a bad flight experience recently. Oh no, what happened there, bud? Let's see. So now the next one, how do I get to this next one? So I'm all the way over here. I can duck out there. Looks like I might be able to snake my... Yeah, I'll have to hook back up to my trailer and get down there. Yeah, let's go do that. Let's hook up the trailer. Let's see, and that was the bigger of the two fields. So this one hopefully will be a bit easier, but it's got these little power poles here in the middle. Now, I know you can deactivate them. At least I think you can. They're in town. I think you can deactivate them. It's like about here, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But we're not going to do that. Let's see. Jonah says, so we get on the plane just to sit on the plane for 3 hours. And the flight is only an hour and 15 minutes, and then we had to get off the plane. We're delayed 8. Oh my goodness. Wow, I'd be so mad. So mad. I mean, but that's the problem, though, is it doesn't matter how mad you are. I mean, there's nothing you can do. That's a really bad thing about air travel now, and it's so rare that I will be like, okay, let's get on the airplanes and let's travel, kind of thing. I will typically, if I'm going somewhere, I will almost assuredly drive, and it's pretty rare that I go anywhere where I absolutely must fly. I don't go out of the country or anything like that. So pretty much anytime I do travel, it's by car, because yeah, I like to fly. I like the experience of flying, but it's one of those where having to get onto a plane, be smushed in with dozens or even hundreds of other people onto the same flight, getting subpar service at best. Like, I remember that there used to be a time in my lifetime where there were airlines that like legitimately prided themselves on making sure that your experience on their aircraft was of the utmost highest levels of perfection. and it's like customer service just in general just doesn't exist anymore. Let's see, how can I... Ooh, I don't think this is going to be a good idea, but we're going to try. Let's see. Go slow, think thin. There we go. I don't think I went the right way. Nope. I definitely didn't go the right way. Oh, man, this is... Oh, wait. No, I can tuck back here. No. Oh, wait. Okay, yes, I can. So make a left. And then another left. And then follow this. Look at that. And it's this field right here. Okay, yeah. Okay, perfect. Whew, that was some tight squeeze there. But anyways, I mean, there used to be a time where like customer service was like a thing, and now it's to a point to where like you can't even cough in the wrong way without... Ooh. Nope. Let's not do that now. All right, well, I guess we're just gonna steer into this skid. There we go. There we go. But yeah, I mean, if you cough wrong, you're on the no-fly list. You are just... it's terrible. And then being on the no-fly list, I mean, that in of itself is, you know, just so devastating to every part of like your personal freedoms. You know, that means that you can't... if you're on the no-fly list, then you fail background screenings and all that stuff. So if you're looking to make some high-powered purchases, then you're not able to do so. It's an absolute joke. That's why I tend to avoid planes whenever possible. You know, unless it's like something for work and they're like, oh yeah, we need you in the office. You know, can you come in, you know, for such and such amount of time? And they're like, oh, well, you know, we're not going to rent you a vehicle, you know, where you live, you know, so you can drive. We're going to only rent you a vehicle here in town, kind of thing, because they get a much cheaper rate. So I'm like, yeah, okay. But just one of those where at the end of the day, it's not worth the hassle that flying... It's not worth the time that it saves you to fly anymore, in my opinion. It's with few exceptions, with very few exceptions. Like if you're going to only spend like a couple of days in a location, then yeah, fly. That way you're maximizing your time. But if you're able to spend a even halfway decent amount of time at your final destination, then yeah, that's what I tend to do. Is I just tend to drive, and then I'm the master of, you know, when I want to stop, where I want to go. You know, I don't have to, you know, I'm not to the whims of, you know, the pilot, to other passengers. If another passenger doesn't show up on time or whatever, or if one person gets too unruly, you know, they deboard the plane and all that. I've had that happen before, you know, to where a passenger got all, you know, upset because of, you know, just not being treated the right way or whatever, and then they ended up deboarding the plane and, you know, making everybody wait until they get off the plane. it just, yeah, not worth it anymore. Let's see. Jonas says, when the captain came over the intercom, said we're 30 in line, and I knew it would be a long, yeah, 30th in line, and yeah, that's going to be a long day. Holy smokes. Carol says, let's see. Actually, go ahead and take that one out of there, Carol. Appreciate you coming by, though, but yeah, not going to be going with that one. I appreciate it, though. Jonah says, better with bad weather that delayed not only us but everyone else. Every flight to leave Atlanta that day was at least 3 hours delayed at minimum. Wow, that's nuts. Whoops. Pushing the wrong button. There we go. That's nuts, Jonah. Holy cow. Yeah, that's... So the last flight I took, I was going to Virginia to go help my brother-in-law. He had bought a house, and he needed help, kind of fixing it up and doing, small jobs here and there. And it just so happened to where there was big lines of storms in North Florida, and the pilot was like, okay, we're second in line, and they are setting out a I forget what they call them, but it's basically they're sending out one plane that is supposed to be basically the tester, like is there a path clear for us to follow, and we will be the plane after the tester, kind of thing. I'm like, you know what? That's one where I'm like, can we be like maybe third or fourth, kind of thing. Well, turns out that because we were the second one, we end up taking off, and they end up following the first person. Had I gotten my way and been like, no, we're actually third or fourth or something. Yeah, no. It was the plane in front of us and us. We were the only two to get out through that line of storms, and it was several hours before the line of storms actually passed to allow the rest of the flights to go. So yeah, it was one of those where I'm glad that it didn't delay us to a small to that drastic of a degree, but I don't know. I never really liked the concept of being the guinea pig. And yeah, I don't necessarily feel like we were the guinea pig, but we were guinea pig adjacent. So, needless to say, it was a little bit too close for comfort. It was one of those it was a pretty rough flight. That was probably the second roughest flight I've ever been on. Probably the worst flight in regards to roughness I've been on is one of those where the flight itself actually hit one of those pockets of still air where I'm not 100% certain of how it actually works, but if I understand it right, basically the plane loses the lift that it has because of a pocket of air that's basically changing the direction in which the air is flowing. And because the air pocket changes, the altitude drops drastically. So you go from, up at 30,000 feet to 25,000 feet. Maybe not that drastic, but you know what I'm saying. And it's that kind of sudden drop that all of a sudden you're like, that roller coaster feeling you get in your stomach where the insides kind of rise up into your chest cavity. Yeah, that was basically what ended up happening, and just Needless to say, that one was a bit scary too. But again, not as bad as the bird. Let's see. So if I remember right, wait a minute. Did I just go the? I went the wrong way. Went the wrong way. There we go. So, oh, so there it is. That's the marker right there. Oh, it's the flag. Like I'm hearing something. It's like, what am I hearing? That's the flag I was talking about, or the marker that allows you to turn off. Yeah, disable low. Okay, yeah, that is it. Let's see. Did I go in the wrong direction? Oh, I came from the other way. Okay. Let's see. So beep beep. And then this way. Following it this way. There we go. We made it. That's a pretty decent sized sweep right there in the field. And then you also take into account not only the sweep but then the electrical poles right there. This is a pretty difficult field to harvest. Not difficult, but it's not straightforward. Here we go. Let's go ahead and unload this. Oh, brakes. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, so let's go ahead and finish unloading. Let's see. Let me double check something real quick. Okay, so we don't have any contracts. That's not out of the ordinary for the most part. How is this field looking? So, okay, 50. Okay, this one went back up to 50. Okay, so we gained some points back for this one. Let's see. Gonna have to mow the grass here, and then we got to wait for this one to finish to harvest. So, oops. There we go. Perfect. So now, let's see. Do I send the worker? Trying to think of how the worker will adapt to the to these power poles. Probably better if I send them in almost the direction I'm heading now, except, you know, straight. Follow these kind of grids, these lines in the field here. I'll leave for longer strips when it comes to these power poles, but it's not going to be the end of the world. Yeah, I think that'll be better. I think. Yeah, I think that'll work out. That'll be fine. Okay, so if we get down here, I'll send the worker off in this direction. Let's see. go. Perfect. All right, so now that we got the worker up and running, let me go ahead and give my shout outs. So starting with the tier 2 channel members, unfortunately we had some changes in the background, so I'm going to read from a list rather than show my graphic because I wasn't able to actually get the graphic updated. So let me go ahead and bring up that list real quick. So, want to give a shout out to all my tier 2 channel members, starting with Mark K, Will T Gaming, Rail Fanning Jonah, Karma Stories, Philippa Thompson, Revere Time Todd, Pipe and Paul, Wrench Monkey, and Ken Adlam. Thank you all so very, very much for being tier 2 channel members. I greatly appreciate every single one of you. And if you are interested in helping out the channel and wanting to become a member, go ahead and check out the link in the description below, or check out the join button also listed down below. There you can gain access to things such as early access to edited content such as the Let's Play series and the channel shorts. You also get custom badges, custom emojis. Jonah, you're ahead of me. Thank you, Jonah. Yes, custom emojis, just like that. Also, Jonah, you can see the badge on beside his name. That all starts at 99 cents a month for Tier 1 members. Tier 2 members get everything I just mentioned there, plus the shout-out every single live stream. And we're going to be doing more and more live streams now that we have the kind of separation of Let's Plays and live streams. So just kind of a heads up, you'll be able to hear your name more and more often. So what's going to be nice is, before, when we were doing the Let's Play / live stream, when we were doing it all in one, what I would do is I would wait until at least the day after the Let's Play released. So if I released a Let's Play series today, an episode, I would wait until tomorrow before even being able to think about being available for a live stream. That's no longer an issue. That's no longer going to be in the cards because they're independent of each other. So I can have an episode from Pellegny released today, and then tonight be on the live stream for Carpathian Countryside. They're two separate things. So there's going to be more opportunity to be able to come on and do live streams, which is going to be awesome. So again, more opportunities to hear your name and show your support. Again, thank you all very, very much. All my channel members, I greatly appreciate every single one of you. It goes to help out a ton for supporting the channel, for its sustainability and continued growth. I also want to thank every single one of my subscribers. Again, greatly appreciate every single one of you. At last check, I think we were at, I think we're almost up to 1610 regarding subscribers. So we are still growing. We're still doing an amazing job here on the channel. And I just want to, again, thank every single one of you out there. It means the absolute world to me. What is this worker doing? Oh, they're getting ready to turn around here behind the pole rather than, work up to it. What do we call the AI here on this channel? Go ahead and put it in the chat there, guys. Hey. What are we gonna do with these workers? And watch, they're gonna back up beyond the pole. Oh my goodness, look at that. Okay, that's, you know what? Not the worst thing. Let's see. So, let me also give a shout out to the P.O. Box for anybody who's interested in sending me a package for the channel. Go ahead and send it to P.O. Box 6136, Hudson, Florida 34674. There, I only ask that you include the name of the sender that is sending it to me. The reason that is that I want to be able to give huge shout outs to anybody who is going out of their way to send me and the channel something. Greatly appreciate it. So just want to go ahead and throw that out there as well, because I do have several people out in the audience who definitely want to send things. Have sent things in the past, so want to make sure that I keep putting that out there if anybody is interested going into the future. So let's see. I think that is all of our announcements. So now let's see how this worker's gonna handle this bit. Are they just gonna turn around and... Okay, I mean, I guess they could have done worse. Let's see. Ken, thank you. Thank you, Ken. Actual idiots. That is exactly what we call the AI around here. Oh yeah. Look at that. They're just gonna miss out on all that stuff, aren't they? That's alright. I mean, what would be a farming simulator video without the actual idiots to clean up after? Could be worse. As I tend to say, could be worse. So, let's see. Also, if you're out there in the chat, go ahead and hit the like button. It helps out an absolute ton. I also want to thank everybody who came on before the stream even started. I noticed that there was 5 likes before the stream even started. Thank you so much to whomever and everyone who hit that like button even before it even started. That I got a really huge kick out of seeing that. I was getting ready to fire up the stream, and all of a sudden it's like, oh hey, there's more likes than people on the stream. It gave me a good laugh. Gave me a very good laugh. And Jonah, I know one of those likes was from you, very early on, as you left the very first comment when the notifications went out. So thank you very much. Let's see now. Let's go ahead. Let's see, we're at 85%. How are we going to do this? Let's get this over to the end. And I don't want the worker to continue after this, so get this down here. I want them to continue, but I don't want them to keep going in the other direction, because then it's going to be impossible to unload. At least they aren't on a coffee break. Yeah, right? 100%. That's, small favors, I guess. There we go. I will say, for the most part, so far, I mean, we've only done, 2 fertilizing fields, which were basically square in shape, and 2 non-square harvesting fields. So far, I'm actually rather happy with how the AI has actually been handling these. I mean, with the power poles, I'm not going to be too terribly upset that the worker kind of did what they did. I think in the attempt at being fair, I think that the worker is doing a very good job. So, not going to be too sad. Let's see. Jonah says, maybe when the AI can't drive, it's because it's texting and phone. Yeah, right? Speaking of texting and farming, not even texting and farming, but texting and driving, I was I was going somewhere. When was this? This was, I think it was Thursday, and I was going to the store. I was going to the local Walmart, and as I'm driving, all of a sudden, I notice this person's just kind of veering in and out of their lane, kind of going back and forth, back and forth. And I'm like, okay, one of two things. They're either texting or they're drunk. It's one of those two. Well, turns out it was the first one. And as they are sitting there driving, having the phone in their hand, they're not paying attention to the road and how, the curve is coming up. And in this curve, there's, what would you call it? One of those raised kind of lips on the side of the roadway, like a curb kind of thing. A curb in the curve. Well, as they're approaching, they're not paying attention. They're driving straight, and all of a sudden, boom! Blast and bounce off of that curb, and ended up blowing out both sides of their passenger side tires because it was a left-hand turn. So I passed them after seeing them do this, and I'm looking back in the rearview mirror, and that's when I noticed that both the tires were just completely mangled off the rim kind of thing. Oh my goodness, it was one of those, like, thankfully that was the worst of it. Like, thankfully they didn't hurt somebody, thankfully they didn't hurt themselves, but I'm not gonna feel that bad when you're sitting there not paying attention to the road and all of a sudden you damage your car. And more than likely, not only did they, like, blow out their tires, like actually blow them off the rim and all that, but more than likely they ended up damaging the rim itself. They ended up, possibly, if they hit hard enough, could have even damaged, tie rods. They could have damaged the actual hub itself. Like, there's tons of stuff that could potentially have gone wrong after they hit that curb. So, like I said, I can't necessarily feel too bad about that particular case, and just thankfully it wasn't worse. For anybody. Thankfully it wasn't worse for them. Thankfully it wasn't worse for some unfortunate person just at the wrong place, wrong time kind of thing. So, all in all, it's one of those kind of, I guess, karma moments. Oh, speaking of driving, so I had mentioned earlier about the incident there on the highway where the person was driving on the road and they ended up losing their load because of improperly transporting it. I offered this the last time that kind of a big event happened with the driving. Would anybody be interested in me posting the video to the channel? Because I do have the video from the dash cams. So if anybody's interested, just let me know in the chat, and I can definitely post that. Let's see. All right, so we're going end to end. Very nice. Probably get another sweep through here too, because looks like that worker will be able to get at least one full pass coming back, which actually work out very nicely, because let's grab this. Oh wait, I'm full. All right, let me see. Let's go ahead and go the easy route. We're not going to cut through town there. There we go. And there's the farm. Let's go and drop this off, and then we'll go unload that harvester, because more than likely by the time we get back they're going to be full again. Let's see, Jonah says yes. Well, that's one vote for Jonah, so I will definitely be considering loading it. If anybody else wants to see it, go ahead and let me know in the chat there, because I do have it. It's available. It's nuts. Like I said, had I not swerved at the last possible second, I would have caught one of those boards into the truck. And like I said, I will mute. Maybe I'll even throw in some music, because one of those I was not happy, and some adult language was used, but that's not what this channel is about. So I will definitely be editing that in some way, shape, or form. Let's see. Will says, did he show screenshots yet? I had to step away from it. Yes, Will, I did end up showing the screenshots. They look fantastic, bud. They absolutely look fantastic. Oh, wow, 70,000 liters on just those 2 fields. Very nice. Joni says, yes, and oh, man, I missed them. You should send your clip to Wham Bam Dashcam. Yeah, right? That's a really good channel right there. I really do like them. The whole wham, bam, Tesla cam. that's one of my favorite segments right there, is the Tesla cam stuff. Or no, I'm sorry, it's the Tesla man can't drive. Oh my goodness. If anybody is looking for like dash cam videos and whatnot, definitely give that channel a look-see. It's called Wham Bam Dash Cam, and they've got a whole bunch of other different siloed off channels as well. They got Wham Bam Tesla Cam. They got Wham Bam, basically like a whole Wham Bam. Well, type Wham Bam, you'll basically find what I'm talking about. It's yeah, good stuff. And the person doing the voiceovers is pretty funny too. All right. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. Let's go ahead and there we go. Let's see. Jonas says, I hope you're satisfied. Yes, I hope you're satisfied. Let's see. Will says, well, I'm going to see if I can see the northern lights. Have a good night, everyone. All right, bud. Hope you have yourself a fantastic night, and I hope you're able to see them northern lights. Yeah, I know. Let's see. I know that my buddy there in Chicago ended up seeing them not too long ago, a couple of days ago, and I think my brother-in-law in New York ended up seeing them as well. So, and he's in New York City. I know you're on the west side there, but I would imagine you'd be able to see them. It'd be pretty darn close, but good luck with it. Hope you have yourself a fantastic night, and we'll see you again next time. Let's see. So we are, I mean, for the yeah. Oh, are you serious? Really? 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 Look at that. Look at that. They could have very easily just made this full strip here, but they ended up backing up because they came in this direction. They came, going this direction. They could have just turned around and went this way. No impairment with this whatsoever. But no, they ended up backing up to about here and then turned around and then went in this direction. What? Actual idiots. Idiots. You know what? I'm going to channel my my mother-in-law here for a second. Idiots. Oh my goodness. My so it's my wife's father's wife. It's my wife's stepmother. Uh, she she is an absolute hoot. She does this thing. I don't know where she picked it up, why she started doing it, or anything like that. But she just gets this, whenever somebody does something, silly, she's like, idiot. And it's just absolutely hilarious. Trevor, hey, how's it going? Hello, Trevor. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Jonas says, never leave your AI unattended. Oh my goodness, just like your bags, right? You know what? Where's TSA when you need to wrangle up the when you need to wrangle up the AI here? Oh my goodness. See, look at that. He ends up going almost all the way to the power pole. Oh, you know what? It's okay. Woosah. We'll breathe. we'll clean up after the AI here in a little bit. Oh, goodness. Just gotta take it one step at a time, I guess. Oh my goodness. Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. But we are getting really close. Really, really close. We've got, we got that big chunk over there. Well, hopefully they'll be able to do a few sweeps. Like, they'll be able to actually go the full length this way and then get the rest of this. We'll have to clean up this little, like, up and around here, which that won't be too bad. This chunk here won't be too bad. This one will be a little bit bad. Not too sure about that one, but that's all right. That's all right. We'll figure it out. We'll get there. One of those things too that we're just starting out. We're just starting out, and at the end of the day, when everything's gonna be, kind of worked out and whatnot, because we're just starting out, we're really gonna struggle. We're really gonna struggle, and especially because, like I said earlier, we put that self-imposed kind of where we're going to buy our supplies from. Again, if there's a spot available on the map to buy from, we're going to buy from that spot on the map. So in this case, if we wanted to buy manure, we're going to the animal dealer. We're not going to buy the 5,000 liter pallet of manure for $1,000 kind of thing. Even though $75 per 1,000 liters, that's actually much cheaper than... Yeah, manure is much cheaper than to buy it from here than it would be to buy it in the pallet. Anyways, so yeah, that's basically what we're going to end up working out. In the end, I think it's going to be very, very nice. Let's see. I'm just seeing some of the other things here that can be purchased. Animal dealer, herbicide. Yeah, so all sorts of different stuff that we're going to be able to buy directly from the map rather than trying to use the pallet system or the pallet mod. What is that mod called? Is it farm production pack maybe? Nope, that's liquid barrels. Farm supply pack. Yeah, this one I lean on very, very heavily to be able to get items cheap. But I'm not going to do it in this series. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to, again, self-impose kind of rules and regulations here, which I think in the end will make it just a little bit harder, a little bit more interesting when everything's said and done. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see, 57% full. Oh man, it's one of those I am kind of regretting not getting the faster header. Could you imagine the faster header and having bad brakes? We would have slammed right into these power poles. We would have knocked out all the power to the countryside here. Oops.
bad. Oh my goodness. Why? Why, worker? Why are you so slow? And that's the other thing, is because we have precision farming, I haven't purchased the John Deere antennas just yet. Those little, are they RDK towers to make your workers just a little bit more efficient. I might actually purchase one. Now I'm kind of saying that out loud. Because why am I going to let them be more efficient? Or why am I not going to let them be more efficient? I think it's only like 11% gain for your efficiency, but it's better than not having it, I guess. There we go. See, AI worker, was that so hard? Look at that. Let's see, so if we get over this section, alright, so first section is all cleared out. Yeah, look at that. Close enough. Close enough. Now, let's get this. Just like so. Go. And now one more. Oh, look at that. Look at that. See? Not too shabby. See, worker, was that difficult? Were you not able to do that? I mean, come on. Come on. See, Ken says, but do the towers cover the whole map or just the farm? Are you referring to the power poles? I think they are just kind of strewn about in random spots. Like you've got this section here, and I think there's other, yeah, so you got the power towers here and going this way. So you can deactivate them. There is a section right here that allows you to deactivate the power poles, but I don't know, one of those where I'm just kind of enjoying the landscape at the moment. Let's see. Bradley, hey, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic night so far. Had a heck of a time finding a compatible trailer to extract the slurry from the cow barn on Alma. Oh no! Bradley, sorry to hear about that. Let's see. Hope you're having a fantastic night so far there, Bradley. Jonah says, I have a riddle for you. My power was out for 2 years, but was only out 1 day. How is that possible? My power was out for 2 years, but was only out 1 day. Now I'm just racking my brain. I'm not
I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that works out there, Jonah. Go ahead and let me know. Ken says the arcade. Oh, okay. So you were asking, do they cover the whole map? Yes. So as far as I'm aware, once you put them down, it basically affects your workers, the workers that you hire, throughout the entire map. It's not just localized to just your farm. So if you have like contracts and stuff that you're that you're working on, that they will work there too. So let me, you know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Is it tools? Yeah, it's tools. Let's do roof mounted. Let's do about right there, because that's awesome. And we'll get better weather too. Why not? Good enough. Oops, didn't mean to do that. There we go. Let's see. Bradley says, haven't caught up on your Let's Plays. Was wondering if you had the same issue. So there are certain trailers that, well, actually, no. So I haven't experienced that issue, and the reason I haven't experienced that issue is because I basically blew out the entirety of the farm, like the starting farm. I basically built my own farm in its place, so I didn't have to actually utilize the barns and buildings there. But I do know that there's times where, you know, certain trailers will only work in certain capacities and stuff, so it doesn't necessarily surprise me that you had some kind of issue. Let's see. Jonah says, power went off on December 31st, came back on this. Okay. You know what's funny is I was literally sitting here thinking that it was something like that. You know, went out December, came back in January, but then I was like, no, you said 2 years, and it's like, duh, 1, 2. It's almost like that spot in the U.S. where you can be in 4 physical states at once. I think it's like, what is it? New Mexico? Is it New Mexico, Colorado, Arizona, and I can't remember the 4th state. All right, so we are done with the harvester. Let me double check that before I open my big mouth. Yes. And this is still growing. Yeah, that's it. So we don't need the harvester, we don't need the trailer. Let's return those. Harvester, trailer, header, trailer. No! I just returned the trailer! No! Oh no! Well, thankfully I just unloaded it here recently. Alright, well, let's go to the shop. Oh, that's frustrating. Oh my god, I cannot believe I did that. I cannot believe I did that. You know what it is? It's 12:30 and I'm really tired. One of those where my wife, she ended up having to take her sister to the airport this morning, and whenever she ends up going somewhere in the early mornings when I am not awake, she'll wake me up in order to make sure that, you know, I'm paying attention for our daughter. And unfortunately, when she woke me up, I didn't fall back to sleep. Yeah, I'm going the right direction. Okay. I'm still trying to learn the map and trying to remember, like, all the kind of key locations. So let's see. At this point now, I'm going to lease out either the John Deere or the Krone balers. Either one of those, I'll lease those out and go ahead and get the bales all situated. That way I don't have to necessarily worry about having to pick them up, having to utilize them in any such a way. I'll be able to just kind of do it and be good to go. Yeah, there's a pole right there. I went to read and drive at the same time. Bye crop. Let's see. Bradley says, tell your wife Happy Mother's Day from your farm sim community. I absolutely will. She will get a huge kick out of that. Absolutely. Let's see. Balers. So I'm going to use these ones because they are cheap. Let's see. You know what? Let's go with Krone. Why not? $600 and you get square bales. Why not? I cannot believe I did that. All right. Let's see. I want to turn that on. I want to make sure I'm on the biggest bales. Now turn that back. Nope. Turn that. There we go. All right. So now... yeah, I cannot believe I just got rid of all that crop. I mean, thankfully it wasn't like a full trailer. It was, you know, just a partial trailer. So it could have been a lot worse. A lot worse. But that's what you get. I mean, you sit there and make decisions when you're tired and whatnot. It's not good. See, Jordan, hey, how's it going? Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Jordan says, what map is this? This is the Carpathian Countryside, and it is a absolutely beautiful map by Mr. Hector. So yeah, we're just making our rounds, trying to get all the product taken care of on the fields as best as we can. Let's see. Ken says, yes, finally using square bales. Yes, 100%. Well, like I said, this baler is just dirt cheap. It is so ridiculously cheap. 12 grand to buy this. I could have bought this and been fine, but to lease it, it's $600. I mean, yeah, we're in a situation where, yeah, we got $183,000, but we don't have any contracts remaining for the day, or at least none that I want to do, and it's just going to be, you know, wee. It's going to be just so much easier to be able to deal with. All right, let's go drop that down, unfold. Riddle was based off a true story. Really? Oh, that's funny. That is funny. Bradley says, nah, bro, cheating some crop or money IRL, I wouldn't have returned the trailer to the place you leased it from with crop in it. In fact, they wouldn't have accepted. Yeah, well, you know what? That's actually not a bad... That's not a bad argument right there. You're right. They would have just denied it right up front and said, hey, take this away. Bradley, I like the way you think. Now, does anybody know how much was in that trailer? Because I completely forgot. If anybody wouldn't mind backtracking before I made my mistake and figuring that out for me, I would greatly appreciate it, because that might not be a bad idea. You know what, Bradley, out of curiosity, are you a lawyer? Because that's a lawyer's argument right there. Because yeah, we could just buy like a pallet of wheat. Yeah, look at that. Making us some bales. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So then we have to get something to pick these bales up. After getting that to pick them up with, we'll take them back to the farm and we'll just load them into one of the storage units. I mean, it's one of those where we're eventually going to need straw. I mean, we're going to need, well, I mean, really, we need everything right now. We need straw, hay, silage. Ooh, you know, actually, what we could, in theory, do... Huh. Hold, please. Let's see. I mean, yeah, these fermenting silos do take straw, but... That's the manure factory. Where is it? There's a mod that you can put in straw and get out chaff. Huh. It was by Celebuki, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sorry, not Celebuki. Zuttelzacht. It's by Zuttelzacht. I thought I had it installed, but maybe I don't. Let's see. Bradley says, LOL, my game's as if I make a mistake that's... if I make a mistake like that, I would have exited the game without saving and paid the price by doing work over again. No, not a liar. I mean, not a lawyer. Nice. Very good. Very, very good. Well played, sir. Well played. Let's see. Brady says, I sent you a message on Instagram looking for your feedback and input what you get of stream. Thanks in advance. Oh, awesome, bud. I will definitely check that out here after the stream. Let's see. So, yeah, we're just going to be making up the bales here. I'm going to be looking up that production. I'm almost certain that it was by Zuttelzacht, and you could take straw and get out chaff. And it basically like I thought it was called the straw chopper. Maybe that's what it is. A straw chopper? Oh yeah, there it is. Straw chop. Oh, 125 grand. I don't think we're going to be putting in the straw chopper anytime soon. Now, the nice thing about the straw chopper, though, is that it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So each one of these bales that we're getting out are what? I think they're like 11,000 liters, if I'm not mistaken. So you could get, basically through a two-step process, you get your straw, put it in, get chaff. Once you get chaff, you then put it into the bunker silos and make it into silage. I mean, at the end of the day, that's a huge increase in the base price of straw and building it up to silage. So, might be something. Let's see. Ken says, does the Carpathian map have TMR production silos? I don't think the base map does. Let's see. That's the grain shredder for the pigs. So, not that I'm aware of, but do they have one in the productions? Carpathian Countryside, here we go. Fruit and vegetable processing plant. Okay. Oops. Saskatchewan says, well, I'm heading. It's 11 here in Saskatchewan. All right, Saskatchewan, hope you have yourself a fantastic night, and we'll see you again next time. You take care. Get this little end piece right here. Let's see. I tell you what, I really wish that I had enough horsepower to get one of those, trailed windrowers. I absolutely love those trailed windrowers, and it would be so much faster to do this. Let's see. So yeah, we're just gonna finish up the baling here, and I think after we're done baling, we're likely gonna start wrapping it up because I'm starting to get a little bit tired. It is gonna be approaching 1:45 here before too much longer, and yeah, I tell you what, I am so thrilled, so excited to be here on Carpathian Countryside and being able to do a live stream. Going to be bouncing back and forth between Pelegni and Carpathian Countryside. Be putting out the content as usual. Again, all that is subject to change based on Giants and their releasing schedule when it comes to maps and updates. Maps and updates do take priority over the Let's Play series and the live streams, just simply because when a map is first released, it's one of those that it only has so much time before it kind of loses relevancy, and people no longer show interest in the tours or updates. So I need to pause the stream real quick. I will be right back. am back. Mrs. is getting ready to head off to bed, so wanted to wish her good night and all that. Oops. And it helps when you have the baler turned on. There we go. Just like that. Let's see. Before we get going, let's go. Let's see. Ken says, I know that if you use a TMR mixer and fill it with straw, it turns it into pellets. Yes. Yes. So that's definitely something else that we could do too, is, take these bales and actually turn them into pellets. But is it going to be worth the price difference? If you figure, if we're able to take the straw and turn it into silage, let's see, we're going to go from a maximum of $88 to a maximum of $340 per 1,000 liters. But what do we get for straw pellets? Actually, that's pretty darn close for pellets. So maybe, oops, if I could actually push the right button here. I get one of these smaller, cheaper mixers. That might not be a bad idea there, Ken. I might look into that. Let's see. Brady says, I like the music he left us with. I try to pick out some good tunes. One of those that if I'm gonna pause the stream and whatnot, then I gotta at least give a little bit of something to keep you interested in sticking around for it. It's certainly not like the elevator music. Let's see. Ken says, well, I'm heading off now. It is 4:40 p.m. here, Monday afternoon. We'll catch up with everyone on the next stream. All right, Ken. Whoa, what just happened there? Oh, I raised the... All right, Ken. Well, like I said, I hope you have yourself a fantastic day. You take care, and we'll see you again next time. All right, try that one more time. Oh, what the... You know what? This is how you can tell I'm tired. I'm making really silly mistakes. There we go. Now we're talking. Let's see. So Bree says, or some businesses telephone, hold music. That is the worst. Yes, 100%. 100%. Cannot stand it. Yeah, that's why when I created my kind of transitions, my starting music, my I'll be right backs, and my ending music, I tried to come up with something that, at least people would be interested in hearing, not something that's just going to be like a placeholder kind of thing. And I mean, it's one of those, YouTube, they actually have a pretty fairly decent selection of songs and stuff that you can kind of use as copyright free material kind of thing. So where you'll be able to actually put in there and not having to worry about, demonetization or anything like that. You're just able to kind of grab and go kind of thing. So that is nice. That is the one thing I'll say that YouTube does really, really well on, is that they give a good array of songs to be able to make it a bit more interesting for the individuals viewing the content. Let's see. Brady says, "How do you do that stuff?" Is that how do you do that stuff? Like, what do you mean, the transitions, or how do I get the music? If you could, is it software? Um, if you're referring to the transitions, going from like one state of the stream to the other, oh, both. So the transitions themselves are set up as scenes in OBS. So I use Streamlabs, and in Streamlabs they give you different scenes that you can do in order to uh, set up different components of your stream. So I've got one for my Let's Play series, which is basically the same exact thing that you're seeing now, except it doesn't have the in the bottom left hand corner, doesn't have all my socials listed out. It doesn't allow the notifications if somebody were to subscribe right now, or if somebody were to make a donation or something like that to the channel, then, or become a member. I get these little pop-ups that'll say, so and so became a member, or so and so donated, $2, or whatever the case may be. It'll pop up with a notification right in the middle of the stream, so that way it will kind of display that in that specific scene, to where the Let's Play scene doesn't allow that. I also have a Be Right Back. I also have, which is what you saw just a minute ago, but each scene can be set up with different elements to it. So you can play music, you can have it pick up your voice using your microphone, so on and so forth. Like, you can just set it up to have each thing do its own thing. And the one that you heard just a minute ago was the Be Right Back. So it transitions using the circle swipe, and once it's done with the circle swipe, it'll look on my computer for a song, and it'll start playing that song. Now, where I get those songs is from YouTube Creative Studios, and YouTube Creative Studios, within there, they give you basically, I'd say, 3 different kinds of music that you can pick and choose from. One is completely open source. You don't have to really do anything besides use it. The second version that they allow you access to is kind of open source, but you have to take an extra step and list out that you actually used that song in your content in order for it not to be demonetized or anything like that. And they just give you basically a copy and paste kind of thing that lets you, put it into the description of your videos. And then the last one they have is basically full, like, not demonetization, but it's mainly intended for shorts, to where you will basically redirect your revenue to whoever created that song. So it's just one of those, you just gotta read the little pop-ups when you're under the creative music. There's like a section that says free, and once you're in the free section, you can then download the songs and then figure out, based on the language that they use when the pop-up comes up after you click download, whether or not it's one that you can use with no additional information, one that you would need to tag it with the little information that they want you to tag it with, or one that just diverts any revenue that you get from that video. Let's see. Do you have to pay for that? And if so, how much? For OBS, no. OBS is free. Now, they do have a paid version of Streamlabs, but it just unlocks additional features and all that stuff. So it's one of those where Streamlabs is basically the medium in which it's actually projecting the stream out to YouTube. It also allows me to do the screen recordings with my Elgato. So right now my console is rigged up to my Elgato. The Elgato is then rigged up to my television and to my computer. So it's basically the capture card for the stream itself. And OBS is the software that allows you to project out onto the internet or to record onto your local machine. So OBS itself is free, it just with limited features. But they do have a paid version which you can like multi-stream. You can like if I wanted to, if I paid for it, I could stream to YouTube and some other streaming services like Rumble, like what are some of the other ones? Possibly Twitch, and like I think it's like Twitch, Rumble, YouTube. Like you can do like a multicast, or I think that's what they call as a multicast. And I think that's like, I don't know, I think it's like $100 a year or something like that, $120 a year. It's one that I personally haven't paid for at this point. Because the only other one that I would potentially stream to would be to Rumble, but not at this point in time. It's just not worth the investment at this point. In this point in time for me, maybe if the channel continues to grow, we continue to do well, then we can, you know, do like a multicast and whatnot. But at this point in time, it's just not worth the squeeze. Let's see. So it's one of those where I think I'm running out of steam very, very quickly right now. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this field here. I will drive this over to the next field, but I think we're going to call it after this field because, yeah, I'm starting to lose steam very, very quickly. So one of those where, as we were talking earlier, you know, falling asleep and waking up in weird places on Farming Simulator, I don't want to do that, especially live here on stream. So one of those where I think I ought to recognize when I'm feeling tired and just acknowledge it. One of those, no sense in fighting it. There we go. And then when we come on to our next stream, we can finish baling. We can finish taking care of the rest of the fields, like plowing and planting. I don't even know if we can necessarily plant anything at the moment, or if there's going to be anything necessarily worth planting. That's... what am I doing? Ooh, canola, poplar grass. Alfalfa, clover. I mean, yeah, there's some stuff, but I don't know if I want to turn all this into like grass products. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how all that kind of goes. Let's see. Brady says, I get that after a while. I start to get tired too when I am... yeah, it's one of those where... the flip side of that same coin, though, is I also have to work in the morning. So one of those where I can't be up as late as I had been in the past because work's finally picking back up. So one of those where I have to be more reasonable than what I had been in the past. What do I do? I am a uh, reports writer. I basically do a lot of data analytics and reports writing. So basically, my job is to dive into SQL code and try and figure out if there's kind of means and methods at which we need to kind of draw attention to any particular issues that may be coming down the pipe or anything along those lines. Basically, I work with our operations department to be able to uh, best serve their needs whenever they have uh, issues or if they want to make dashboards or anything along those lines. Basically, my job is to, you know, be the mediator between operations and the reports world. Go. So almost done with this field. You figure, let's check something real quick. Okay, 16 bales. I mean, figure how much are each one of these bales? I think they're like 11. Are they 9,000 or 11,000? I can't remember. $9,000. Okay, 9,000. So you figure 9,000 times 16 bales, which for a field this size is pretty good. That's not that bad. There we go. Let's eject that bale. Perfect. So now I think I go this way. I saw the shadow here and it looked like a person standing there. Like, tell me that that doesn't look like a person standing on top of that cover there. Almost like the like a skinnier version of the Oogie Boogie Man from Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm the Oogie Boogie Man. Whoa. Oh man, that's a good movie. That's one of those Christmas classics. My wife, she absolutely loves it. She loves Sally. She is a big, big fan. Let's see. So we can start right over here. Something like this. Perfect. All right. Well, I mean, we had some ups, we had some downs, and one of those where at the end of the day, we were able to get all this harvested. Let's do this. We got 70,000 liters of wheat. I mean, not great. We missed out on some. I might take Bradley up on his suggestion there that would be a good way to kind of reclaim that. I might look back at the stream and just see how much I lost and see if it's even worth my money and time. Because I am going to have to get some money in there so it's well, not get some money in there, but I got money. I can just use that money to reallocate that wheat that I lost out on. But I don't know if it's going to be worth it, because I don't think it was that much. So let's see. Brady says, oh, okay, I do lawn care. Oh, nice. Absolutely nice. Love being... I'm big into working outdoors and whatnot, so it's nice to be able to, you know, to be able to do that, have that kind of like fresh air and smelling the grass like all the time. I love fresh cut grass. That's love it, and it does. Yeah. So at the end of the day, we got quite a bit done. We got 2 contracts. We got 2 fields completely harvested. We got the number 16 fully picked up and baled. We need to bale number 4, which is the bigger of the 2 fields. And once we do that, we can then pick up all the bales, take them over to the farm here, to the bale storage, the vehicle shelter and storage compositions. Yeah, I mean, we're just going to pick it up where we left off in the next one. But I had an absolute blast. I am so pumped up being able to work on Carpathian Countryside. This has been a long time coming. I hope everybody enjoyed it. If they did, and if you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things. The algorithm enjoy you doing shows you're engaged with this channel, enjoying the content. And that being said, hope everybody has a fantastic day. Take care.